You don't know where to go. You don't know where to grab a pint. You don't know a cool place to take you and your family, or maybe a date night with you and the gal or the guy. I can help that. TomandDanWateringHoles.com. TomandDanWateringHoles.com. Our watering hole partners are bigger and better than ever. We just added a brand new one, and man, this is the one. This is the white whale that I've been wanting for a very long time. We're working with our friends over at Dirty Laundry at Will's Pub and Little Indies.
Yep, the Dirty Laundry is between Will's Pub and Little Indies. It's kind of like the spillover in the middle.
But they do their own little events, and you got to check it out. It is a hard rock and metal tiki bar, and it is freaking awesome.
Right there in Mills. We got Toll Road. That is an awesome brewery in Ocoee, in downtown Ocoee.
Great humans that make great beer, and they're just like really good people. But when you go to these places, please drop our name. Say, hey, I'm here because of Tom and Dan told me.
Grab a watering hole Mo pint glass. Toll Road still has those.
Sorry. Oh, man, that's loud.
And that tells them that you're there because we mentioned them.
Yeah, I mean, Hourglass. I mean, do we need to say more about Hourglass? Excellent beer.
They got their Oktoberfest coming up.
Yeah, and they're going to do special beers and all kinds of special little things for that. Cafe Da Vinci in downtown DeLand. I'm going there, I believe, on the 9th for, they're doing a, Dan is such a good dude there at Cafe Da Vinci. He and some of my friends, the people I grew up with, are throwing a benefit for a very good friend of mine that's suffering from cancer. So you can go there and catch a great show at Cafe Da Vinci, and you know you're helping good people that help out people in their DeLand community. I mean,
that's going on September 24th.
Yeah, sir. So
there's live music, there's a 50-50 raffle, and you know, and like Daniel said,
I'm going to be out there. I booked my calendar to go out there and help my buddy Steve, and just because Cafe Da Vinci, that's what they're all about, man. Community and just being a good partner of DeLand. Salty Sisters, speaking of good partner, I mean, that's our friend Tiffany. Yep. We love her. We've worked with her our entire lives, and you will not find a better little spot to grab a smash burger and hang out with your family. She just overhauled the whole back of it, made it good for kids. It's great.
Ailstone is right there in Longwood. They've got half off their delicious pizza
Monday through Thursday. Yeah, jump in there and get it. They got a meatball sub that is Maisie Dennis approved.
Great beers, of course. West End Trading Company, Celery City, Johnny's Other Side have been with us for years. Tuffy's Bottle Shop and Lounge.
Yeah, man.
We got the Mo Comedy Jam coming up in September.
Riff Raff's going to be. Riff Raff. Yeah. You know Riff Raff's going to be at Tuffy's.
So there's lots of different watering holes. Go check them out. Ask for something Tom and Dan. All of them have it.
Yeah, and you can find all of it, and it's always updated. It's TomandDanWateringHoles.com.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Jeff and Casey Howell are here.
Hey, guys. What's up? Been a while.
What a do.
I know. So, Jeff, I've been following...
Is this the first time Casey's been on the show?
Yeah.
First time.
I think I'm trying to remember back. I think I met Casey, but like 15, 20... Between 15 and 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, back when I was at my tippy top.
At one point, and I can't remember where.
I know what it was. I hired you to do his birthday party in the bear suit.
Get him.
You know what?
Used to do that.
That actually happened, and that kid that I went to his party,
Barack Obama,
is the kicker for UCF Knights right now.
Really?
Colton Boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a big deal.
Colton Boomer.
Yeah.
He's a kicker.
Yeah.
That's an awesome name.
It is
we
an
should
awesome
get him on
name.
the show and talk about his birthday
You know what?
party.
I was thinking about possibly not to talk about that, but I wanted to talk to him about the fact that he's being actively recruited. He's up for an award. Like some kicker.
He'd probably be in the NFL.
He will probably make.
Did you inspire him? Were you kicking at this party?
I don't
Were you
know.
in the Predators at that time?
I don't want to say that Tom inspired him fully, but I will say that a lot of young men have gone on to be great sports stars with just a little sprinkling of the Drunkie the Bear on them.
What's embarrassing back then?
Just a sprinkle.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I missed out.
Bo Rhodes
really
paid
me
me $100 to show up at the house. He's like,
What'd you do?
well, this is the embarrassing part because like it was like
you ring the door.
It smelled like cigarettes.
Obviously, this was Bo's drunken plan. He didn't really tell anybody else about it.
I think it's his birthday today.
Oh, good.
Happy
birthday, Bo.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bo.
Shouts out.
It's his wife's.
It's amazing that you're here.
It's his wife's family, and then I remember, like, I showed up in my truck. I put the bear suit on. He's like, he saw you jump Gravedigger, a huge fan.
It's a big deal.
He may have been like 7 years
Didn't
old.
he have a bear suit or no?
I don't remember.
Some of the
exactly,
kids would get their parents would get them a bear suit and then they'd wear it, which is weird.
But for normal, like
men to do.
if you're a costume character, you have some sort of animation about you, and you're jumping around. You know, you're shades from Solar Bear, so like you're animated or whatever. But I'm not that. So I just walked in, and then I was like,
you didn't even put the head on, did you? He just had the head.
Kids.
Yeah, he didn't even have the head on. It's just him.
And he wasn't that. You know, it was like it was a 7-year-old kid. He was like, why? He was shocked. People were confused.
And it wasn't like it was a class outfit anyway.
It was nighttime on like a Sunday
Typically,
night.
you're not supposed to see your face in the costume.
It's a homeless 20-year-old smoking cigarettes. Wow.
I was 22.
Smoke's coming out the eyes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, man, I can be a homeless
about
22-year-old that smokes cigarettes that goes to parties to get money to buy weed.
So
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Who's this person?
Not bad, not bad.
Jeff, Casey, I want to talk about the tour you just did
Yeah.
because
man.
I was following it on social media.
I loved reading it.
Oh,
loved
thank
it.
you,
I
man.
read
Thank
every
you.
single one of them, man. Like,
Thank
loved
you.
it. Read about the fight. Read about read about all of it.
Let's start
So good
from the beginning.
Well, thank you. I
such a good
appreciate
writer,
that.
man.
Well, I appreciate
You're
that.
not as good as Drew Garabo, but you're really
no,
close.
I'm working
Really
on. I'm
close.
working on
Really
it.
Close.
The thing about it is, I know. For Facebook, it's too long. Like if I see,
No, I thought it was great.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that. But I know when I see long posts like that, I rarely read them. Rarely ever read, unless they, unless you break a line every now and then. If it's just all one paragraph, I can't read them
But
at
you're
all.
funny.
Huh?
You're funny. I would say this. I would say the same thing to Drew too. It's like it's a good read. Like you guys can write.
I
Well, thank
scanned
you. I
it
appreciate
and guess what it said. I was like, I bet this is about how
hope he
important
said-
it is.
That's
He
why
said
I asked us,
poo-poo.
where did they
That's
go?
great. You saved yourself a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
I
I know.
appreciate you, but Casey, very good to see you.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure seeing to reconnect over. It's been like 20 years.
Yeah.
Tom guesses that it was a good tour, and he guesses that it went
The
off without a
pictures
hit.
look fun.
Yeah, I looked at the
yeah.
pictures.
Thanks a
So,
lot.
what even started this? Like, tell me where it like you
Hubris.
guys came up with the idea to go on tour together.
About 3 years ago, a buddy of mine that used to live here, and I'm not sure if any of y'all have ever met him. His name's Ken Handy, great friend of mine. Anyway, he moved back up there, got married in Saratoga, New York, and he's done real well in finance.
Okay.
So he bought a huge house up. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's up. He wakes up every day. It's on a mountain. He can see the Catskills on one side. He can see the Adirondacks on the other side. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful place. So he had me do his housewarming party 3 years ago, and it went over so well. I said, you know what? Maybe if I can just call people around the country that I know and just book different weekends, we could have almost a paid vacation.
Yeah, man.
And I could take Casey, because you remember Bubba used to talk about Clutch, the band we were in?
Yeah.
We didn't make any money. I think I made $125 a week, and but I got
You make
to
more
see,
than me?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll
When you
to
get
that.
senior,
This is an intervention
when you're
for
a
payment.
partner,
Man, you're Jeff's son. I enjoy it so much.
Oh,
It's so great.
It's painful. It's painful.
Double house.
And
Times
so
two.
I said, you know what? I'm just going to book, and I just picked this summer. And what I did was I called the guy and I booked the Saratoga one first, and then I just worked my way back, on weeks when I would call people up, and it went well. It almost paid for the whole trip. I spent a lot
That's
of money,
awesome.
yeah, but I'm not good with money.
No, me neither.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
waste a lot of money.
And I pick up the check a lot. And I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But Jeff, you bring there's a value that you're using here that
A vowel?
a value.
Oh, value.
Value.
in
How
the
they call
fact-
him value how? That's what they call it.
Because you've met so many people, you made so many friends
Yeah.
over the years,
Yeah.
and everybody everybody that I know that lives in different states, they always invite me. They're like, "Hey, anytime you're here,"
Yeah.
and they mean it.
Yeah, but you're
they're
a taker.
glad.
You're a taker.
Yeah, but people
All
offer.
you've been doing your whole
They're-
life is just taking people's offer.
But how many times have you been invited to stay at someone's house? Like, hey, anytime you're in town, you're
Yeah.
welcome to stay here, and you never do it,
Yeah.
and that's a
'Cause
value
it's
lost.
gross.
Yeah.
I don't want
No.
to stay in somebody's
I don't
That's a
either.
value loss right there.
But that's how Tom lives, though.
Yeah.
He always stays at his friend's house.
But
Like he's a goddamn teenager.
like a transient man.
But I like it because
We know.
I like.
you like to spy on other people's ladies. This guy loves
Like,
to get
didn't know you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, hey, I'm in your panty drawer again.
Jeff knows.
Yeah, that's what they call it. How did you know?
I knew it.
Yeah, the people that are living in trailers aren't offering this. You know?
They are.
No, I know, but I'm saying for the most part, these people have spare
That's mostly who it is.
They have spare bedrooms. They have spare money. They have spare food. They love to share.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Come,
anyway.
eat, drink, be merry.
So you freak me out when you scream that out.
What?
I'm sorry. Anyway,
He must have our Air T&D on his mind.
So you put together this trip, and you're like, hey, we could stay at all these places that people have offered, and they're nice places to stay.
Yeah, and they really are nice places. Yeah,
and then you book the. How do you go about booking the venues to perform?
That gives me anxiety. The booking of the venues.
Yeah, and that here's the weird thing is I've been so lucky being in Orlando for 40, actually almost 50 years now, but I've built up enough of a reputation and people know that I don't really have to do phone work for booking gigs.
Okay.
This was work. I had to call people. I had to arrange it, But it was, like you said, it was people that had offered, come to stay. And I kind of put the word out that I was going to be doing this.
Right.
And what I did was I just told them, I said, look, I'm going to be, I want to come visit you. And hopefully they'll say, "Oh, come stay with us." But I say, "Come visit you."
Right.
That would be good.
And possibly stay. You could have slipped that in.
Yeah. And then I said, "And listen, you don't have to, but if you want to, why don't you throw a party that weekend and we'll play it for free?"
Great idea.
And and put out a big ass tip bucket and a Venmo sign and the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And just tell all your friends, look, they're doing this for free, and it worked. It worked.
Nice.
It really did. There was only a couple of them. One of them I didn't get to put the bucket out, but
No buckets allowed. And I mean it. God damn it.
Maryland is a no bucket
I know.
state.
I know they're weird.
Well, why didn't they let you put the bucket out?
Well, because it was they didn't know exactly where they wanted me to play, and it was a tiny, small room.
No room for buckets here.
Yeah, and it really wasn't
That's a
any
big
room.
ass bucket.
Yeah, and it was actually one of the richer people that we played for. So I really wanted the bucket out, but we didn't. Yeah.
All right.
So people just kind of palmed us 20s.
That's cool.
Yeah, not bad.
Enough for gas money. Get yourself a little
People
hamburger.
poured you 20s?
I forgot. Somebody did that yesterday too. I owe you, buddy.
I'm glad I'm back on the show.
So, all right, let's start from the beginning and let's start from the drive.
Sure.
Where's the first location you're hitting?
Okay, we left here and we drove. I tried to drive as far as I could before, pooping out and just getting a room. So we made it. We got to Akoi. And we went to Pensacola.
Okay,
nice.
So, well, I want to talk to Casey for a second because. So, Casey,
where'd you go? Pensacola.
This is where the interviews shift.
I'm sure you're well aware of the fact that your dad likes to talk, and especially
He doesn't like silence.
No.
and silence somehow makes him.
He's allergic.
He feels awkward,
uncomfortable.
I have a tinge of this.
Yeah.
I have a tinge of this.
Yeah.
So, for instance, like when I was working with your dad 15 plus years ago.
You know why he got fired? Pervert. Grade A radio pervert. Yeah, always in the panty drawer.
Hey, they breed them, man. They breed them.
Florida radio pervert.
We go to use the bathroom in the break,
I told you.
We were standing at the urinal, and there's no listen. We work together all day long. There's no way we're talking, and in a talk show, it's not like we need to catch up in the bathroom.
Also, this makes you uncomfortable. You don't like toilet talk.
I'm not a toilet talker.
Yeah, he's not a toilet talker.
So I would just be standing there, and it's just like I just came from a show that all we did is talk, and then Jeff is standing there, and then I see him he's like, I need to say something, and then he just started asking me questions.
Silence,
and then I'm like,
He's a chirper.
Why? Yeah, it's
What'd you have for lunch today?
Or just started making jokes, telling me some long jokes. So I'm curious, in the car, can you drive silently, or does he have to be talking the whole time?
I have to create a protective bubble around myself. None of his noises can penetrate because it's constant. It's constant nothing. We were, I think we listened to the greatest hits of the Monsters for about music compilation for 6 hours of that.
Oh, you can listen to the Monster CDs?
Yeah. Oh my God. And I collect everything, so I have the horrible stuff too. Yeah.
I mean, they have.
I would have preferred silence. Yes.
We have unlimited choices, Jeff. I don't know if you realize. realize.
What's that?
I mean, your car can play the internet, right?
We couldn't figure it
I
out.
couldn't get Bluetooth, and he couldn't do it. Yeah.
Hold on,
Oh,
Throw
my.
me
You
under the
raised
bus.
a
It's
little
your
Jeff.
car.
you went an entire road trip without Bluetooth.
Yeah, no Bluetooth.
We had an
Yeah.
iPod from 2006.
Are you insane?
Yeah.
An entire road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have all
And then he
the
said-
content in the
And,
world.
it's no offense because I'm on some of those
Yeah,
CDs.
yeah.
You chose the best of the month.
I ran out of stuff to
I
play.
wrote some of those.
Oh, he
songs.
liked
Oh,
your
yeah,
stuff.
we loved it. Yeah.
No,
likes
that's
your
not
stuff.
what you picked.
That was your best work.
but you have to.
He wasn't real big
my
on Dirty Jim, but yeah.
You have to pull over and figure it out.
so many
You can't-
other things to listen.
You can't just continue on the road trip with
Yeah.
no ability to play anything through your
Well,
phone.
my MP3 player only has 3 gigs, and so I have to limit what I put on it.
You know, even the original iPhone, I found Andrea's original iPhone
Yeah.
yesterday when we were cleaning, has 4 gigs.
Oh, really? Is that amazing?
Yeah, it had 4 gigs
Well,
of
he has the
space.
mini one, so you know.
Oh, yeah, the little guy.
Well, he carries around 8 of them too. He has different ones.
Yeah, I got one for the
so
show.
rather than
He
getting
matches
a
his
big,
outfits.
so
Yeah.
rather than getting a big iPod,
Yeah.
that
You get
can-
8
yeah.
old ones.
Yeah.
Like a jewel case
You know, I support
CD
that.
book.
I support that 100%. I like
Because
that.
if you lose one, you don't care.
Yes.
But if it has 128 gigs on it and you lose it, you'll be pissed.
You know what? I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Yeah.
lost one?
No one
Jeff?
else has.
I lose them on a regular basis. Yeah.
It's all on the internet.
They don't even make
It's
those
not nothing
anymore,
can
right?
be
No,
lost.
no, they
little-
do. Amazon sells them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 gigs. It's about like $15.
Okay, all right. There you go.
Zero reason to store anything anymore. the technology has changed.
I know, but we couldn't. You know, the phones, and I'm amazed at this. The phones they make, and my phone's old. Is they didn't even put the
They're called
1/8
headphones.
Yeah, the
The
1/8
mini
headphone
jack.
mini jack. They don't even put those on there anymore.
No, they don't.
They don't even put a wire that you can connect to your thing to the ear.
Where's the stick?
Yeah, we spent like an hour at a Buc-ee's.
Didn't they change that like 5 or 6 years ago?
Maybe longer.
Yeah. That's about how old my phone
I thought
is.
that they switched back. I thought people freaked out. They
like
started
vinyl, like
rioting.
vinyl.
Yeah,
No,
and they
no,
were
no.
like,
So,
yeah, I
bring
don't.
back the holes.
Whoa.
So I'm curious.
That's a great shirt.
Thank you.
So
Bring back the holes.
when you guys perform,
Yeah.
do you have the is it like because Jeff like
Yeah.
through the
This is your
entire
dream,
career.
right? You're doing a podcast with your 2 sons.
Well,
can you imagine that?
You guys have bits together, and then the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a
Yeah.
whole act worked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any improv throughout the?
It's
show?
pretty much all improv, but I have found out recently that he's doing good pantomimes behind me.
Yeah, so what the thing is he'll do his bits from 40 years ago.
No.
There it is. Get it all out.
Tried and true classic.
Yeah, you're in a safe
And,
space here. You're in a safe space here. You can be who you
and
are.
I'm burnt out on it. I've heard it
We
my
all
whole
are.
life.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think-
Since Florida,
Yeah, you know what? You
Exactly.
grew up on it. I grew up on it. Tom grew up on it. Sam grew up on it. God
But
damn.
there's 6 British people flying over every week who haven't seen it, and they're
Yeah.
keeping the show alive.
Yes.
So we want to thank you
The
guys.
6 Brits.
Yeah.
Brits love it. They never get tired of it.
But yeah, so it's him, Bozo the clowning it up, and it's me just like,
Man.
all right, yeah, all right, 2 more hours of this, and we get to pack up. And that's yeah, great.
So
He told me one time he was wrapping cords, and he goes, "Hey man, one day all this will be mine."
My kingdom.
And he just kept wrapping. No smile or nothing. Yeah.
It's just a picture of Casey
I know.
that
wrapping
should
a
make you
cord.
proud.
I know.
As far as the eye can see.
I can't wait to leave this to Maisie.
What's that?
I can't wait to
Oh, I
leave
know.
this to
I know.
Maisie.
Yeah.
So, now, were you guys concerned about getting on each other's nerves after?
I would
like,
be.
Yeah.
like what happens if,
See how big Casey's eyes are?
3 weeks
like, what are you
into a
talking about?
6-week road trip?
Yeah,
and
that's a lot of togetherness.
Yeah, do you guys
It's a lot of
purposely go like someone goes to breakfast by themselves and someone stays back? Like you do?
wow.
Keep
Well-
alone time.
Yeah, he sleeps 24/7.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
And so what I would do is we found out early because I wanted him to see everything that made an impression on me as a young man when I was on the road.
And you were doing a lot of bucket list stuff.
Oh yeah. That was the problem.
What's that?
You were too impressionable as a child.
I know. Oh my God! So we found out
that you're limiting your experiences.
Yeah, we found out halfway through the trip that we were good for just doing one thing a day. Not planning a couple of, and even that was kind of tight.
Okay.
But it even got to the end because we were in Saratoga and we had a couple of days off, and he was sleeping, and it was about 1:00 in the afternoon. And I wanted to go see Lake Placid because I heard it's really beautiful up there.
Yeah.
And so he's in there, and of course I keep the room on 60, because I have to have the cold.
Yeah. Bring it down and put the blankets on.
Yeah, and so he's got like 3 or 4 blankets on. So he's got the blankets on. I go, Casey, he goes, I said, Casey, do you want to go to Lake Placid? No! Okay, all right, I'll go by myself.
But I'm not in that stage yet either, and no offense to you, Jeff, but and Tom's, I think, above me in this stage.
Yeah.
I am not in the stage yet where I go to places just because they're pretty. I'm not there yet. I'm not. I think it's a natural progression. Again, I'm not calling you old, and I'm not calling you old.
No, I'm old.
But there are stages, and I'm not there where, like, if Andrea goes, hey, do you want to go to Bartow because there's a hill that used to be a thing, and I'm like, not really.
Listen to this man, people.
Yeah, well, the internet has kind of changed a lot of that for me.
Yeah.
I can see a picture. It's pretty good.
I'm with Casey.
That's the young generation.
I'm with Casey on this.
I'm with Jeff Howell. You got to go see Lake Placid. Stand out there, look out at the lake.
You got to breathe.
Tom has taken his sons to see some of the most glorious things. They've seen lava flow. They've seen active volcanoes.
Really?
Hawaii.
That's cool.
I heard that stuff's dangerous.
Yeah. Not for you.
Yeah.
Right. Also, children are unimpressed with everything.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I've seen too much.
But I will tell you this: we went to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And
by Niagara Falls.
No, slowly I turn. Step by step.
Oh, no, 2 old men got together.
Inch by inch.
Three Stooges. I
pulled a laugh.
You don't remember that?
I'm back with Casey.
But when you see that water going over, and it's like 4 foot, 5 foot of water going over this edge and coming up. I mean, it is impressive in a real life.
Oh my God, yeah, it really was. It was something else.
But tell them what you said.
Oh no, this is me being serious.
This is what I've had the whole trip right here.
No, I'm just so dry. No one can tell when I'm being. It was very cool.
We're familiar. It runs in the blood.
This is what I've been putting up with.
Jeff,
so great.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
So
there's something that gives me great pleasure in the fact that you are torturing yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
I'm crying.
I know. But tell them what you said when we were, because it's about kind of what we were talking about before the show. Tell them what you said when we were standing on the side of the raging waters.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. I don't know if you guys heard. But Niagara, there's so much water, just 1 million gallons a second, and it's just overwhelming. And you get there, and you're like, man, that looks fun. I want to go splash around in there.
Yeah. He said,
beautiful.
He goes, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but God, I would just love to dive in there and swim, and go over the
anything to get away from touring with.
I was.
You can keep the barrel, man.
Casey's like, I know my purpose now. I know why I brought you here.
He was done with me by that time. Oh my God! And we didn't talk a lot because I keep the car on 60, and he would put that burrito blanket over his head.
Yeah, you got to warm up.
Yeah, and so I couldn't tell if he was awake or not, and he would play Reddit the entire time. And
play Reddit.
I'm getting good.
This is my favorite segment we've done.
Almost beat it.
What level of Reddit are you on?
100.
Yeah, okay.
Maxed out.
Killing it.
So all the people you stayed with, everything went well.
Everybody was so kind. Yeah.
You gonna do this again?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do.
Yeah. Well, maybe not with Casey, but
Yeah, maybe I better check with the man right here.
Cool. It was kind of like my Vietnam. So yeah, I just don't want to think about it yet. I've got a couple years
fresh.
of therapy, I think, before I can.
It's still fresh.
I like how you're just saying just one Slurpee a day, and you were like, one Slurpee a day. That's all I'm saying.
This is how you justify things in your mind. You know this.
It did.
Hello, gambling.
It did seem to shock all of us in the chat room because I don't think I've ever met a person that's had a Slurpee a day.
And then I thought about how Bert Kreischer used to drink like a gallon of Kool-Aid a day. I'm like, oh my God, I'm Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
a little
no.
bit. I mean, minus the funny part.
Yeah.
And the money part.
And the money part.
Yeah.
Better story.
Well, anyway, back to Nerd Job.
Have you heard the machine?
I've heard it way too many times. Okay. So New York, I went on Friday, which was fantastic.
Nice.
I went. It's the best trip I've ever had. If you have a chance,
dude, that's cool.
Go, but don't go with kids. That's the one recommendation I go. If you're gonna go, don't take a kid with you. That's
Did
the
you
one
take
thing.
a kid with you?
No, I went by myself. It was just by myself.
I think that's cool, man. I think it's cool that you have, and this is me being serious.
Don't take your kids to Pokemon Friends.
Yeah, don't take your kids.
See what he's doing there?
Yeah.
Stick with me. I'm not making fun of you right now. I think it's really cool that you have something that you enjoy, and we've bullied you about the stupid Pokemon thing, and you don't care. You still love it, and you still go and do it. And
Yeah.
I think there's value to that, and I'm glad you stuck with it.
It's the thing that makes me
now,
happy.
what level are you now? Like, explain just
I'm
so-
almost at 300 million XP.
Is that
It's
where
like
does that rank?
Level
with,
50 is capped at I think it was 190 XP, 190 million XP. So I've almost doubled that since
Are you
past year.
a top tier
Oh
Pokemon
no!
Go?
Some of these people are way more hardcore than I am.
Well, but you're not a casual guy, right?
No. I would say I'm in the top 5%. If you're going to
That's
say
what I was
Are you the
looking for.
best in Central Florida?
maybe.
Wow.
It's somewhere in that. I would say top 1% in Orlando.
Couldn't
for sure.
we put a bounty and have?
Oh, there's some people. There's a couple guys that
who's
are
got
even
more
harder than me.
XP?
Let's
than
have the
DJ?
trainers come here and fight him.
No, I know. I'm friends with a guy, Frankie. He's
There's no
was ranked.
friends in Pokemon Go.
Your friend. I have 400 friends now from Pokemon Go. From New York.
Oh, you
And
might have
all
been
over the
cheating on
place.
your wife.
No. I was by myself in my room.
Wait, say it again and let me zoom the camera.
Oh, no. The people next door were having way more fun than I was at
But
Pokemon Go
again,
Fest.
you started this with don't take your kids, and
Well,
then
'cause
you haven't explained any
Okay.
adult things
Yeah,
you
well,
did so
you-
far.
If you don't bring your kid, if you bring your kids, you can't cheat on your wife.
Yeah. Well, that, and you also have to explain all the craziness that you see while you're in New York. People shooting up, or the crazy
You saw a
Jesus
person
freak
shooting
that's on the
up.
train that's explaining everything in the Bible to you as you ride there.
Those
And
are
everyone's
Just the general public.
Yeah, just general public.
yeah.
But
Those are NPCs along the way on this tour.
even more hardcore than it is down here. Yeah.
So now we did make fun of you. I don't know if you heard about.
Yeah,
the
I heard you making fun of my pictures. I don't like selfies. And the
Then
reason
why you even take them?
Okay, my phone, the selfie camera's messed up. It has a little block over it, so that's the reason why I have
block
to
over it.
I have
So
to
we
go like
can,
this, and I'm kind of
that's
not
what
in a
it
good
sounds
mood.
like, so you can
to go
cheat on your wife.
I have to go like this to take a selfie, and I'm kind of like I can't smile at the same time. I'm like, am I doing this right? Because I'm trying to push the button from the other side.
Okay, that explains a lot.
That explains the no smile thing, okay?
Okay.
But I like taking pictures of things I'm seeing. I'm trying to give you a first-person view of what
You
I
were
was
taking
doing
pictures
the whole time.
like a recently divorced mom.
Well,
I have
okay.
like some recently divorced moms that'll just walk around their house taking pictures of things and thinking they're art.
Just
and I
remember,
make fun
I'm
of them.
playing Pokemon Go at the same time, so I have to stop playing Pokemon Go for an instant to take the picture and then keep it moving.
Did you get any rare Pokemon that you can only get?
Yeah, there's Bufalon is
Bufalon.
Sir Boofs a lot.
No, Bufalon. It's like a buffalo Pokemon.
Yeah.
You can only get in New York. I got a couple of those to bring home,
Bufalon.
and then Sigalith, which is the Egyptian
Oh, I know.
Pokemon.
Sigalith is a cigarette. Is a cigarette Pokemon. So you got to
Is it-
smell them
yeah,
all.
that's the Egyptian Pokemon that was like just for New York Go Fest, so you could only get it there or in Egypt. You have to go either of those places, and I don't have
God.
a visa.
So
Okay,
You are stunned.
Yeah.
Sir.
Is
You
it-
look stunned.
was it worth going? The plane ticket. You told me the plane ticket wasn't that
it was
expensive.
$140 round
but
trip.
The hotel had to have been.
The hotel was like $600.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah,
For one night?
for 2 nights.
God.
Yeah,
Still, yeah.
And the Boros Hotel in Dutch Kill, which was very nice. Like the pictures look good, right?
But yeah, you didn't cheap out. You
no,
went,
it was a nice place.
Yeah, you should not.
Plus the location, it was walking distance to the park that I was going to.
That's great.
So you fly to New York. To
LaGuardia.
Expensive hotel. You got food cost and all that.
But I didn't eat that much.
You don't?
Seriously, I had 2 meals there.
Yeah.
And one was breakfast before I left.
And two of them were Slurpee.
No. I ate a burger at the hotel bar downstairs on Friday night, and then I ate a bagel with egg and cheese at LaGuardia.
Well, you go to New York and you don't eat?
Yeah,
this is the definition of addiction. I was playing Pokemon Go the whole time, and I slept probably maybe 6 hours the whole time. So I hardly ever used the hotel, too.
My God, it's like...
So I wasted a lot of money on the hotel.
He's doing your gambling.
I was doing your gambling. Like, when you were talking about that, I sound as crazy as you do, yes.
No.
You were just staring at your phone just like him.
Okay, well, I was sitting in bed.
That's what he was doing. In his hotel room.
That's
what I heard the people next door. I was doing that
he
stuff.
Hates his family.
No, I love my family.
I'm with my family when you're not participating with your family at all.
I know.
You're just
I do that
looking
too.
at your phone.
I do that too. If they're around, I consider with my family.
It's the last
doesn't count.
15 minutes of a game. I contend this is a lot less than flying to New York.
I'm just trying to see that we're more alike than we are different.
For an entire weekend away from your family, 3 days.
But I also got to see sightseeing. I got to see places and the cool thing was, I remember most of these places from playing Spider-Man 2, the video game, and I'm at Battery Park, and it looks just like it did in the video game.
My question being, is it all worth it for a digital Buffalo? You know what I'm saying? That's all you got out of it is one Buffalo?
It's an experience. It was something I got to do.
A Cigalar. What is it?
A Sigalith. Yes.
Sigalith.
Yeah.
So
and a bunch of shinies that you
powerful?
can only get.
Are they like? Will you?
Some of them are placeholders, and they're not great.
So if this guy
but
comes,
it's also showing off to other people. Yeah,
if this other guy comes that's your friend, and he's like, "Yo, I'm at Tom and Dan's studio. Come out and face me with your Bufalot." Are you going to come out and you're like, kabam, and then he's dead because you got a Bufalot, and
we
doesn't
do a remote on
and
Twitch
he doesn't have anything as powerful as your Bufalot?
No. There's
that's what Tom means. I speak Tom. Tom means, did you go there? Did you get something that's so worthwhile that your quest, you came back and you have this?
I'm trying to think of what I could put in his perspective. Okay, imagine if you're a sneakerhead and you got the original Jordans and they've never been worn. They're in great condition. Signed by Michael Jordan. It's a flex like that.
Okay.
To get the Bufalon.
To get the Bufalon, or you get a Sigalith, or to get a shiny that you can't get anywhere else.
Can you sell these?
Yeah, you can, but it's against terms of service. That's the only problem.
Could you sell your account, or they don't allow that?
They don't want you to do
you
it.
Can't do
I've
it like
seen
World
it
of
done.
Warcraft or something?
Yeah, you could sell your account.
The main problem is that when someone tells me they went on one of the best vacations of their lives, or most human beings.
You did with the bioluminescence. You said it was one of the greatest things you've ever done.
But even that, when they describe to me their vacation, I then can say, wow, that sounds pretty good. That sounds like a good vacation, especially because the person said it's the best vacation of my life.
Right.
And you just described to me going to New York for the weekend.
It's subjective. No, for me, it's the best.
He's into. You're not into Pokemon Go. That to him was the best weekend because he got to do everything he liked.
I didn't have to follow anyone's, I didn't have to go with anyone's whim that they wanted to do.
Just play the game that he
loves. Just play my game and leave me alone.
Imagine if you got to go gamble for a weekend and play poker at a place that was just a sports book that had nothing but TVs, nothing but genius card players, and nothing but guys that want to sit around and
talk
chop up fantasy football and if
gambling.
Now, I know you like being with your family.
It wouldn't be best vacation of my life. No, because just that.
Even without experiencing, you can pretty much guarantee that you don't think it would be that.
I don't want to play card for 12 hours or do it. It's that I don't find.
Right, but he wants to play Pokemon Go for 20 hours, so that's why
you could interview that guy that you were just talking about that story?
What would you want to do for a full weekend by yourself? You could interview that guy,
I don't want to do anything by myself.
And that's the point. But that's what I'm saying. That's the point. You have no personality. No, you have no hobbies other than your addiction to gambling.
But,
right?
But it's not an addiction, first of all. But second,
you forego time with your family. That's an addiction.
No. Well, you don't have an addiction then.
I already know that. I admit that I have addiction.
But it's
I just said that.
Addiction.
I'm fat.
This is what I wanted.
It's worse than heroin.
This is exactly what I wanted.
It's not worse than heroin.
Heroin, I understand.
You crap on everyone's hobbies voices. You don't have any.
But I had to sit back and wait a little bit, but I knew it would happen. Yeah. Now they're fighting.
But
great.
What I'm saying is, we're talking.
Whoa! Hold on.
I think I'm slowly killing Tom.
Thousands of people are listening to this.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you there are less than 1% of anybody listening to this that would agree with EJ saying this sounds like a wonderful time.
Of course, because they're not all into Pokemon Go.
But
it's pretty specific.
Out of
it's also
all
a trip that you get to go on.
Trips, I'm saying 99.5% of in all of society.
Why didn't you go 99.9?
Agree, because I am Jessica. Would agree that this doesn't sound fun at all. So I can quantify it by saying the majority of people would agree with me.
Now I could name a million things that a 99 point whatever percent you said wouldn't either, because it doesn't. It's what a specific person is into.
It's very subjective. It's very subjective. You're not going to find an objective truth in this.
Someone could go on a fishing trip for a whole weekend. I would absolutely effing hate that.
Yeah.
But
that'd be pretty
But
bad.
more than 99.5% of people
of our listeners, sure.
Yeah, they would like that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that in the scope of the world of people.
Not a lot of people that
like how many people were at Pokemon Go Fest?
They had to split it into 3 days and 2 sessions per day, so a morning and an afternoon.
How many people do you think travel?
Oh, a lot. They had that one of the pictures where all the little dots were on that screen.
Now,
I showed you?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was each person put a dot where they were from.
Now, do you think a lot of people use this as, because this I do understand, even if I'm not into the hobby, people travel with other people into the hobby, and then they hang out together and they go to events.
Oh, yeah, I ran into a bunch of people from Orlando.
But they go to dinner, they go, they do
and
things.
And then you cheat on your wife.
Or not even cheat on your wife, but they do things together. The camaraderie of it is why they do it. And then it's like, okay, well, I can understand that.
You're in a new place. You feel safety with numbers, with people. But I'm a big guy, so I'm not scared to be by myself. And I wish someone would try to mess with me while I'm playing Pokemon Go.
I'm not saying mess with you, but you just described you didn't sleep and
but
hung out by yourself.
I can identify a little bit with the alone time. Like I like having a bit of alone time. So whereas I wouldn't be playing the Pokemon Go part, I can. Like the idea of no strings attached, being able to go to
exploring
the city and
just
that sounds fun.
I rode the subway. I rode the buses and stuff like that.
I don't think it would be my best vacation, but I'm glad you had your best vacation.
Like going to Times Square, you see wild stuff all over the place. Like I see Elmo with his head off and Minnie Mouse smoking a cigarette.
See some of the grittiness of New York.
People doing TikTok videos in Times Square thinking they're Tom Cruise and Vanilla Sky. Yeah.
Tom's also never gone anywhere by himself. So like again, you can't relate to any of this.
He doesn't like it.
Right, so that's why it doesn't sound fun to him. That's my point.
But does this sound fun to anybody else?
In this room, probably not, but it's also subjective. That's what we're talking about.
I know it's subjective, but I don't think it sounds fun to any of our listeners. I don't think
I'd love to go to New York and travel.
Yeah, if you could just walk around New York. Let's take Pokemon out of it. I explored New York completely.
Right.
That's what I did.
That I can get on board with.
Fine.
But again,
I went to Battery Park. I went to Central Park. I went to Bryant Park. I went to Madison Square Garden. I went to the 9/11 Memorial.
So while he's playing this game, he gets to see the city.
I'm seeing the whole city while I'm playing this game, and I'm getting stuff as I'm doing.
All right, we're going to run out of time. So what else we got? We got anything else?
That's pretty much it. I was just going to talk about. And Blue Beetle didn't do well at the box office.
It looks terrible.
It looks bad.
It's also not my kind of movie.
Yeah.
But I've been going to the movies a lot lately, and every time I see the trailer, I'm like,
Isn't
it just
it
looks
like
over
a
the top
$4 movie on Sunday?
Yeah,
Isn't it like a Latin comedy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Jaime Ramirez.
Well, I mean, the family happens to be Latin,
But the way they kind of do the commercial.
But it's all the freaking superhero movies are just so corny now. I can't.
It's Iron Man. It's Hispanic Iron Man is what it is.
Yeah, this one to me, when I saw the trailer, it very much seemed like they were like, oh yeah, we need a Spanish. We need like a Latin influence. Okay, here's the Latin influence. And then they put him in there, they're like, oh man, look at you. They do all that. And I'm like, okay.
And it's the co-star of Karate Kid is the character.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know.
You can tell they like just kind of cookie cuttered it.
That's what it seems like.
And the other story is Ahsoka's comes out tonight. Like instead of Wednesday, they're doing it at 9 p.m. tonight if you want to watch it.
And that's the girl that has the long green D's growing out of her head?
They're orange and white.
Whatever
Ahsoka.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that her hair or is that her head?
I see.
Can you chop those things off?
I think you can chop them off, but
is it part of her?
They get bigger as she grows. So I think it's growth, but I don't think it's hair.
Can she use them? Can she weaponize them in any way? Like, can they hold blasters?
No, it's not like Nightcrawler's tail where it's prehensile.
Is it supposed to be like alien dreadlocks? What is it?
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that's on tonight. That'll be on Disney Plus. It releases at 9
watch
p.m.
that?
tonight.
Your boys love the
Your
Star
kids are
Wars.
gonna love Star Wars. It's a continuation of that. Plus, it has the guy that he just passed away recently. He plays the bad guy in it. Oh God!
Bam Margera.
It's not Ray Parker. It's
Ray Parker Jr.
He played the Punisher
Ghostbusters.
in Punisher Warzone, and he was also one of the Warriors 3. I can't think of his name right now.
No, got nothing.
I didn't have anything, but yeah. So I'm too fat to go to Aquatic, and I had a great time in New York.
That's what we learned.
And also come to MyCon this weekend. It's this weekend. It's the 26th.
Hey.
We're at the Wyndham Resort. It's all day. There's a
There's
Super
cosplay
Smash Brothers
contest.
tournament, and there's a Mario Brothers Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, noon and
tournament.
12. So if you want to.
They also got
Join that.
karaoke going on. There's a scavenger hunt all day.
I thought of 3 Latin Iron Man jokes, and I can't say anything.
Just keep it to yourself.
I was like, I can get. No,
Can't do it. You can't do it.
Samantha has enough editing to
That's
do.
the new way to joke now. You have to say, like,
Yeah, I had
have
jokes,
a joke
but I can't
about-
say it. I'll get canceled.
I have a joke.
Or you could be like Kid Rock and just drink your Bud Light no matter what.
So
Why are you bringing that up?
Because it's fun.
Back to the water slide.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
do they make you walk back down?
Yes, I had to walk past.
No, they have an
and there's-
elevator for
And the funny thing is, it's divided into 2 staircases for 2 separate rides, and it's no room to walk past these people. So I'm having to say, "Excuse me," all the way.
because you're
down.
big.
I thought they couldn't let you go by yourself.
No, I'm too big. By like single rider, the weight limit is 300.
We got a whale!
And then
Okay.
combined, it's 400. So like my daughter could go down by herself.
We got a whale.
Yeah.
Damn.
We have a whale. Clear path, clear path. We have a whale coming through, big fat whale. Clear path. Everybody to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone to your left. We have a big fat whale. We weighed him up here. He can't get on there. He's a big old man.
The worst part about it is everybody in line.
Everyone knows. There's a reason why I'm coming down there for sure.
And you have your shirt off.
Yeah.
Code big, code big.
So anyway,
Does that make you happy?
Those scales are everywhere now.
Yeah.
I've never seen them.
At Whirling Waters, I told this story.
Typhoon Lagoon doesn't have them.
At Whirling
so I had no
Waters.
problem at Typhoon
Yeah,
Lagoon.
I haven't seen them at Typhoon
Yeah.
or Blizzard
Old
Beach.
technology. They used
Yeah,
to
the
eyeball
older
you.
parks.
They used to eyeball you at Typhoon Lagoon. They're like, you're good.
Yeah, that's pretty much
they
what
built it with American steel.
Yeah.
The new ones are built with the Chinese steel.
It's built like White Lightning, the only wooden roller coaster in Central Florida.
Yeah.
They'll last forever.
Yeah,
They can handle anyway.
Exactly.
But the newfangled water slides.
I knew you guys were going to get a kick out of
The
that
new
story.
ones
I have to save that story for you guys. and
What
put
would
it up
they
at the
do if
beginning.
you ran and just
I
jumped on it?
I thought about it because my daughter is she's on the spectrum, so I was afraid to leave her alone on it. But
That's called the Augusta glue.
I thought about jumping on and just going
if you
down
get
and get yelled at.
They're like,
No, it's
turn up the pressure. Blast them out. I've seen Willy Wonka.
I've seen Willy Wonka.
Willa Wonka. I've seen Willa Wonka. Oh my god, that's good. That there Willa Wonka.
Oh God!
Thank you for
So
being
go
a
to
good
my
sport.
God. I know you guys have a good
You're a
time.
good sport.
You
You know
guys
what?
have a good
I
time.
really
about
should
that.
be
know what?
thanking the for program.
Yeah, for making you tough. You're a good sport. You're
What was
also
the
a big
coach's name
sport.
back then.
Coach Chudzinski, he was the tight ends coach when I was there.
What was
Yeah,
your-
he was the one that went to the Browns and they fired him after 1 year.
Did they have a
which was the
name for
worst
you?
thing.
Did they have a?
I wasn't allowed to be called EJ there because Edrin James had just left, so I was called Crafton or Crafty.
All right.
Yeah.
Crafty's pretty good.
It's not
You
bad.
actually got a decent
Yeah.
name. That's
It
not.
could have been
that's-
worse,
That's
yeah.
kind of cool. Like I'm crafty. Not bad. Not bad.
All right, EJ. We appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
you so
Yeah.
much.
Your kids would be
you.
lucky to grow up like me, though.
Who?
Your kids would be lucky to grow up like me. At least they could peak in college. They're probably not going to do that.
Oh my god! This guy's making it personal now. He's attacking your children.
Well, he said he's going to use me as an example to say your kids want to look like me. I heard that earlier.
This man is single-handedly
Yeah.
attacking your son.
It's no big deal. I'll let it slide for all
He's afraid
the
I'll
other.
fall on him if we fight.
Yeah,
You'll let it slide. He can't go down the slide. It won't happen. He can't let it slide.
All right, we will be right back. I like how you're just saying just one Slurpee a day, and then we're like, one Slurpee a day! That's all I'm saying.
This is how you justify things in your mind. You know this. Hello, gambling.
It did seem to shock all of us in the chat room because I don't think I've ever met a person that's had a Slurpee a day.
And then I thought about how Bert Kreischer used to drink like a gallon of Kool-Aid a day. I'm like, oh my God, I'm Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I mean, minus the funny part.
Yeah.
And the money part.
And the money part. Yeah.
Better story.
Well, anyway, back to Nerd Job.
Have you heard the machine?
I've heard it way too many times. Okay. So New York, I went on Friday, which was fantastic.
Nice.
I went. It's the best trip I've ever had. If you have a chance,
dude, that's cool.
Go, but don't go with kids. That's the one recommendation I go. If you're gonna go, don't take a kid with you. That's
Did
the
you
one
take
thing.
a kid with you?
No, I went by myself. It was just by myself.
I think that's cool, man. I think it's cool that you have, and this is me being serious.
Don't take your kids to Pokemon Friends.
Yeah, don't take your kids.
See what he's doing there?
Yeah.
Like, stick with me. I'm not making fun of you right now. I think it's really cool that you have something that you enjoy, and we've bullied you about the stupid Pokemon thing, and you don't care. You still love it, and you still go and do it. And I think there's value to that, and I'm glad you stuck with it.
It's the thing that makes me
now,
happy.
what level are you now? Like, explain just
I'm almost at 300 million XP.
Is that
It's
where
like
does that rank?
Level
with,
50 is capped at like I think it was like 190 XP, 190 million XP. So I've almost doubled that since like.
Are you a top tier?
Oh
Pokemon
no!
Go?
Some of these people are way more hardcore than I am.
Well, but like you're not a casual guy, right?
No. I would say I'm in the top 5%. If you're going to say,
what I was
Are you the
looking
best in Central Florida?
maybe.
Wow.
Like it's somewhere in that. I would say top 1% in Orlando.
Couldn't
for sure.
we put a bounty and have?
Oh, there's some people. There's a couple guys that
who's
are
got
way
more
harder than me.
XP?
Let's have the
EJ.
trainers come here and fight him.
Like no, I know. Like I'm friends with a guy, Frankie. He's
There's no
was ranked,
friends in Pokemon Go.
Your friend. I have 400 friends now from Pokemon Go. From New York.
Oh, you
And
might have
all
been
over the
cheating on
place.
your wife.
No. I was by myself in my room.
Wait, say it again and let me zoom the camera.
Oh, no. The people next door were having way more fun than I was at
But
Pokemon Go
again,
Fest.
you started this with don't take your kids, and
Well,
then
'cause
you haven't explained any
Okay.
adult things
Yeah,
you
well,
did so far.
If you don't bring your kid, if you bring your kids, you can't cheat on your wife.
Yeah. Well, that, and you also like have to explain all the craziness that you see while you're in New York. People shooting up, or the crazy
saw a
Jesus
person
freak
shooting
that's on the
up.
train that's explaining everything in the Bible to you as you ride there.
Those
And
are
everyone's
Just the general public.
yeah, just general public.
yeah.
But
Those are NPCs along the way on this tour.
even more hardcore than it is down here. Yeah.
So now we did make fun of you. I don't know if you heard about.
Yeah,
the
I heard you making
pictures
fun of my
take.
pictures.
Yeah.
I don't like selfies. And the
Then
reason
why even take them?
Okay, my phone, the selfie camera's messed up. It has a little block over it, so that's the reason why I have
block
to go
over it.
I have
So
to
we
go like
can,
this, and I'm kind of
that's
not
what
in a
it
good
sounds
mood.
like, so you can
to go
cheat on your wife.
I have to go like this to take a selfie, and I'm kind of like I can't smile at the same time. I'm like, am I doing this right? Because I'm trying to push the button from the other side.
Okay, that explains a lot.
That explains the no smile thing, okay?
Okay.
But I like taking pictures of things I'm seeing. I'm trying to give you a first-person view of what
You
I
were
was
taking
doing
pictures
the whole
like
time.
a recently divorced mom.
Well,
I have
okay.
like some recently divorced moms that'll just walk around their house taking pictures of things and thinking they're art.
Just
and I
remember,
make fun
I'm
of
playing Pokemon Go at the same time, so I have to stop playing Pokemon Go for an instant to take the picture and then keep it moving.
Did you get any rare Pokemon that you can only get?
Yeah, there's Bouffalant is
Bouffalant.
Sir Boofsalon.
No, Bouffalant. It's like a buffalo Pokemon.
Yeah.
You can only get in New York. I got a couple of those to bring home,
Bouffalant.
and then Sigalith, which is the Egyptian
I know
Pokemon.
Sigalith is a cigarette. Is a cigarette Pokemon. So you gotta
Is it-
smoke them
yeah,
all.
that's the Egyptian Pokemon that was like just for New York Go Fest, so you could only get it there or in Egypt. You have to go either of those places, and I don't have
God.
a visa.
So
Okay,
You are stunned.
Yeah.
Sir. You look stunned.
was it worth going? The plane ticket. You told me the plane ticket wasn't that
It was
expensive.
$140 round
but
trip.
The hotel had to have been.
The hotel was like $600.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah,
For one night?
for 2 nights.
God.
yeah,
Still, yeah.
At the Boros Hotel in Dutch Kill, which was very nice. Like the pictures look good, right?
But yeah, you didn't cheap out. You
no,
went,
it was a nice place.
Yeah, you should not.
Plus the location, it was walking distance to the park that I was going to.
That's great.
So you fly to New York. To
LaGuardia.
An expensive hotel. You got food costs and all that.
But I didn't eat that much.
You don't?
Seriously, I had 2 meals there.
Yeah.
And one was breakfast before I left.
And two of them were Slurpee.
No. I ate a burger at the hotel bar downstairs on Friday night, and then I ate a bagel with egg and cheese at LaGuardia.
Well, you go to New York and you don't eat?
Yeah,
this is an definition of addiction. I was playing Pokemon Go the whole time, and I slept probably maybe 6 hours the whole time. So I hardly ever used the hotel, too.
My God, it's like...
So I wasted a lot of money on the hotel.
He's doing your gambling.
I was doing your gambling. Like, when you were talking about that, I sound as crazy as you do, yes.
No.
You were just staring at your phone just like him.
Okay, well, I was sitting in bed.
That's what he was doing. In his hotel room.
That's what I heard the people next door. I was doing that
he
stuff.
Hates his family.
No, I love my family.
I'm with my family when you're not participating with your family at all.
I know.
You're just
I do that
looking
too.
at your phone.
I do that too. If they're around, I consider with my family.
It's the last 15 minutes of a game. I contend this is a lot less than flying to New York.
I'm just trying to see that we're more alike than we are different.
Yeah. For an entire weekend away from your family, 3 days.
But I also got to see sightseeing. I got to see places and the cool thing was, I remember most of these places from playing Spider-Man 2, the video game. And I'm at Battery Park, and it looks just like it did in the video game.
My question being, is it all worth it for a digital Buffalo? You know what I'm saying? That's all you got out of it is one Buffalo?
It's an experience. It was something I got to do.
A Cigalar. What is this?
A Sigalith. Yes.
Sigalith.
Yeah. So
and a bunch of shinies that you
powerful?
can only get.
Are they like will you?
Some of them are placeholders, and they're not great.
So if this guy
but
comes,
it's also showing off to other people. Yeah,
if this other guy comes that's your friend and he's like, "Yo, I'm at Tom and Dan's studio. Come out and face me with your Bufalot." Are you going to come out and you're like, kabam, and then he's dead because you got a Bufalot and
we
doesn't
do a remote on
and
Twitch
he doesn't have anything as powerful as your Bufalot?
No. There's
that's what Tom means. I speak Tom. Tom means, did you go there? Did you get something that's so worthwhile that your quest, you came back and you have this?
Makes you.
I'm trying to think of what I could put in his perspective. Okay, imagine if you're a sneakerhead and you got the original Jordans and they've never been worn. They're in great condition. Signed by Michael Jordan. It's a flex like that.
Okay.
To get the Bufalon.
To get the Bufalon or to get a Sigalith or to get a shiny that you can't get anywhere else.
Can you sell these?
Yeah, you can, but it's against terms of service. That's the only problem.
Could you sell your account or they don't allow that?
They don't want you to do it.
You can't do it like World of Warcraft or something?
Yeah, you could sell your account.
The main problem is that when someone tells me they went on one of the best vacations of their lives, or most human beings.
You did with the bioluminescence. You said it was one of the greatest things you've ever done.
But even that, when they describe to me their vacation, I then can say, wow, that sounds pretty good. That sounds like a good vacation, especially because the person said it's the best vacation of my life.
Right.
And you just described to me going to New York for the weekend.
It's subjective. No, for me, it's the best.
He's into. You're not into Pokemon Go. That to him was the best weekend because he got to do everything he liked.
I didn't have to follow anyone's, I didn't have to go with anyone's whim that they wanted to do.
He got to just play the game that he
loves. Just play my game and leave me alone.
Imagine if you got to go gamble for a weekend and play poker at a place that was just a sports book that had nothing but TVs, nothing but genius card players, and nothing but guys that want to sit around and
talk
chop up fantasy football and if
gambling.
Now, I know you like being with your family.
It wouldn't be best vacation of my life. No, because just that.
Even without experiencing it, you can pretty much guarantee that you don't think it would be that.
I don't want to play card for 12 hours or do it. It's that I don't find.
Right, but he wants to play Pokemon Go for 20 hours, so that's why
you can interview that guy that you were just talking about that story.
What would you want to do for a full weekend by yourself?
You can interview that guy, yeah.
I don't want to do anything by myself.
And that's the point. But that's what I'm saying. That's the point. You have no personality. No, you have no hobbies other than your addiction to gambling.
But,
right?
But it's not an addiction, first of all. But second,
you forgo time with your family. That's an addiction.
No. Well, you don't have an addiction then.
I already know that. I admit that I have addiction.
But it's
I just said that.
Addiction.
I'm fat.
This is what I wanted.
It's worse than heroin.
This is exactly what I wanted.
It's not worse than heroin.
Heroin, I understand.
You crap on everyone's hobbies because you don't have any.
But I had to sit back and wait a little bit, but I knew it would happen. But now they're fighting.
But
Great.
what I'm saying is, we're talking.
Whoa!
I think I'm slowly killing Tom.
Thousands of people are listening to this.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, there are less than 1% of anybody listening to this that would agree with EJ saying this sounds like a wonderful time.
Of course, because they're not all into Pokemon Go.
But
it's pretty specific.
Out
But
of
it's also a
all
trip that you get to
hobbies
go
and
on, yeah.
trips, I'm saying 99.5% of in all of society.
Why didn't you go 99.9?
Agree, because I am adjusting it. Would agree that this doesn't sound fun at all. So I can quantify it by saying the majority of people would agree with me.
Now,
I could name a million things that a 99 point whatever percent you said wouldn't either, because it doesn't. It's what a specific person is into.
It's very subjective. It's very subjective. You're not going to find an objective truth in this.
Someone could go on a fishing trip for a whole weekend. I would absolutely hate that.
Yeah.
But
that'd be pretty
But
bad.
more than 99.5% of people
of our listeners, sure.
Yeah, they would like that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that in the scope of the world of people.
Not a lot of people that
like
listen
how many
to
people
this.
were at Pokemon Go Fest?
There was they had to split it into 3 days and 2 sessions per day, so a morning and an afternoon.
How many people do you think travel?
Oh, a lot. They had that one of the pictures where all the little dots were on that screen.
Now,
that I showed you?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was each person put a dot where they were from.
Now, do you think a lot of people use this as, because this I do understand, even if I'm not into the hobby, people travel with other people into the hobby, and then they hang out together and they go to events.
Oh, yeah, I ran into a bunch of people from Orlando.
But they go to dinner, they go, they do
and
things.
And then you cheat on your wife.
Or not even cheat on your wife, but they do things together. The camaraderie of it is why they do it. And then it's like, okay, well, I can understand that.
You feel you're in a new place. You feel safety with numbers, with people. But I'm a big guy, so I'm not scared to be by myself, and I wish someone would try to mess with me while I'm playing Pokemon Go.
I'm not saying to mess with you, but you just described you didn't sleep and
but he
hung
likes
out by
alone
yourself.
time. I can identify a little bit with the alone time. Like, I like having a bit of alone time. So, whereas I wouldn't be playing the Pokemon Go part, I can... Like, the idea of no strings attached, being able to go to
exploring
the city and
just
that sounds fun.
I rode the subway. I rode the buses and stuff like that.
I don't think it would be my best vacation, but I'm glad you had your best vacation.
Like going to Times Square, you see wild stuff all over the place. Like I see Elmo with his head off and Minnie Mouse smoking a cigarette.
See some of the grittiness of New York.
People doing TikTok videos in Times Square thinking they're Tom Cruise and Vanilla Sky. Yeah.
Tom's also never gone anywhere by himself. So, like, again, you can't relate to any of this.
He doesn't like it.
Right, so that's why it doesn't sound fun to him. That's my point.
But does this sound fun to anybody else?
In this room, probably not, but it's also subjective. That's what we're talking about.
I know it's subjective, but I don't think it sounds fun to any of our listeners. Like, I don't think
I'd love to go to New York and travel.
Yeah, if you could just walk around New York. Let's take Pokemon out of it. I explored New York completely.
Right.
That's what I did.
That I can get on board with.
Fine.
But again,
I went to Battery Park. I went to Central Park. I went to Bryant Park. I went to Madison Square Garden. I went to the 9/11 Memorial.
So while he's playing this game, he gets to see the city.
I'm seeing the whole city while I'm playing this game, and I'm getting stuff as I'm doing.
All right, we're going to run out of time. What else we got? We got anything else?
That's pretty much it. I was just going to talk about, and Blue Beetle didn't do well at the box office.
It looks terrible.
It looks bad.
It's also not my kind of movie.
Yeah.
But I've been going to the movies a lot lately, and every time I see the trailer, I'm like,
Isn't
it just
it
looks
like
over
a
the top
$4 movie on Sunday?
Yeah,
you gotta do national.
Isn't it like a Latin comedy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Jaime Ramirez.
Well, I mean, the family happens to be Latin,
But the way they kind of do the commercial,
but it's all the freaking superhero movies are just so corny now. I can't.
It's Iron Man. It's Hispanic Iron Man, is what it is.
Yeah, this one to me, when I saw the trailer, it very much seemed like they were like, "Oh yeah, we need a Spanish." We need like a Latin influence. Okay, here's the Latin influence. And then they put him in there like, oh man, look at you. You know, they do all that. And I'm like, okay.
And it's the co-star of Karate Kid as the character.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know.
You can tell they like just kind of cookie cuttered it.
That's what it seems like.
And the other story is Ahsoka's comes out tonight. Like instead of Wednesday, they're doing it at 9 p.m. tonight if you want to watch it.
And that's the girl that has the long green D's growing out of her head?
They're orange and white.
Whatever
Ahsoka.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that her hair or is that her head? Can you chop those things off?
I think you can chop them off, but
is it part of her?
They get bigger as she grows. So I think it's growth, but I don't think it's hair.
Can she use them? Can she weaponize them in any way? Like, can they hold blasters?
No, it's not like Nightcrawler's tail where it's prehensile.
Is it supposed to be like alien dreadlocks? What is it?
I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, that's on tonight. That'll be on Disney Plus. It releases at 9
watch
p.m.
that?
tonight.
Your boys love the
Your
Star
kids are
Wars.
gonna love Star Wars. It's a continuation of that. Plus, it has the guy that he just passed away recently. He plays the bad guy in it. Oh God!
Bam Margera.
It's not Ray Parker. It's
Ray Parker Jr.
He played the Punisher
Ghostbusters.
in Punisher Warzone, and he was also one of the Warriors 3. I can't think of his name right now.
No, got nothing.
I didn't have anything, but yeah. So I'm too fat to go to Aquatic, and I had a great time in New York.
That's what we learned.
And also come to MyCon this weekend. It's this weekend. It's the 26th.
Hey.
We're at the Wyndham Resort. It's all day. There's a
There's
Super
cosplay
Smash Brothers
contest.
tournament, and there's a Mario Brothers Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, noon and
tournament.
12. So if you want to.
They also got
Join that.
karaoke going on. There's a scavenger hunt all day.
I thought of 3 Latin Iron Man jokes, and I can't say anything.
Just keep it to yourself.
I thought I was like, I could get. No,
Can't do it. You can't do it.
Samantha has enough editing to
That's
do.
the new way to joke now. You have to say, like,
Yeah, I had
have
jokes,
a joke
but I can't
about-
say it. I'll get canceled.
I have a joke.
Or you could be like Kid Rock and just drink your Bud Light no matter what.
So
Why are you bringing that up?
Because it's fun.
Back to the water slide.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
do they make you walk back down?
Yes, I had to walk past.
No, they have an
and there's-
elevator for
And the funny thing is, it's divided into 2 staircases for 2 separate rides, and it's no room to walk past these people. So I'm having to say, "Excuse me," all the way
because
down.
you're big.
I thought they couldn't let you go by yourself?
No, I'm too big. By like single rider, the weight limit is 300.
We got a whale!
And then
Okay.
combined, it's 400. So like my daughter could go down by
We
herself.
got a whale.
Yeah.
Damn.
We got the whale. Clear path, clear path. We have a whale coming through, big fat whale. Clear path. Everybody to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone to your left. We have a big fat whale. We weighed him up here. He can't get on there. He's a big old man.
The worst part about it is everybody in line.
Everyone knows. There's a reason why I'm coming down there for sure.
And you have your shirt off.
Yeah.
Code big, code big.
So anyway,
Does that make you happy?
Those scales are everywhere now.
Yeah,
And
it's-
I've never seen them.
At Whirling Waters, I told this story.
Typhoon Lagoon doesn't have them.
At Whirling
so I had no
Waters.
problem at Typhoon
Yeah,
Lagoon.
I haven't seen them at Typhoon
Yeah.
or Blizzard
Old
Beach.
technology. They used
Yeah,
to
the
eyeball
older
you.
parks.
They used to eyeball you at Typhoon Lagoon. They're like, you're good.
Yeah, that's pretty much
they
what
built it with American steel.
Yeah.
The new ones are built with the Chinese steel.
It's built like White Lightning, the only wooden roller coaster in Central Florida.
Yeah.
They'll last forever.
Yeah,
They can
that's
handle
it.
anyway.
Exactly.
But the newfangled the water slide.
I knew you guys were going to get a kick out of
The
that
new
story.
ones are-
I have to save that story for you guys. and
What
put
would
it
they
up
do
for
if you
beginning.
ran and just
I
jumped
just
on it?
I thought about it because my daughter is she's on the spectrum, so I was
Yeah,
afraid
yeah.
to leave her alone on it. But
That's called the Augusta glue.
I thought about jumping on and just going
if you get
down and get yelled at.
They're like,
No, it's
turn up the pressure. Blast them out. I've seen Willy Wonka.
I've seen Willy Wonka.
Willa Wonka. I've seen Willa Wonka. Oh my god, that's good. That there Willa Wonka.
Oh God!
Thank you for
So
being
go
a
to
good
my
sport.
God. I know you guys have a
You're
good
a
time.
good sport.
You
You
know
know
what?
what?
Have a good
I
time
really
about
should
that.
be
know what?
thanking the football program.
Yeah, for making you tough. You're a good sport. You're
What was
also
the
a
coach's
big
name
sport.
back then.
Coach Chudzinski, he was the tight ends coach when I was there.
What was
Yeah,
your-
he was the one that went to the Browns and they fired him after 1 year.
Did they have a
which is the
name for
worst
you?
thing.
Did they have a?
I wasn't allowed to be called EJ there because Edrin James had just left, so I was called Crafton or Crafty.
All right.
Yeah.
Crafty's pretty good.
It's not
You
bad.
actually got a decent
Yeah.
name. That's
It
not.
could have been
that's-
worse,
That's
yeah.
kind of cool. Like I'm crafty. Not bad. Not bad.
All right, EJ. We appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
you so
Yeah.
much.
Your kids would be
you.
lucky to grow up like me, though.
Who?
Your kids would be lucky to grow up like me. At least they could peak in college. They're probably not going to do that.
Oh my god! He's making it personal now. He's attacking your children.
Well, he said he's going to use me as an example to say your kids want to look like me. I heard that earlier.
This man is single-handedly
Yeah.
attacking your son.
It's no big deal. I'll let it slide for all.
He's afraid
the
I'll
other-
fall on him if we fight.
Yeah,
You'll let it slide. He can't go down the slide. It won't happen. He can't let it slide.
All right, we will be right back. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hey.
We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube right now, and we're live every Monday through Friday, and we'd love for you to join us. Great group of chatters are in there right now. Go to twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. Or if YouTube is more the thing, because a lot of people have abandoned regular, television and movies. They just do YouTube. Adults.
Yeah.
You can just search for us at Tom and Dan Live. There are
That's where you got to get the red zone.
thousands of videos. I think there are thousands of videos that we have done. Hundreds, I know. There are hundreds of cartoons, hundreds of shows, interviews. So just go there, subscribe at Tom and Dan Live on YouTube.
I got to drop that $4.50 for the NFL ticket.
Cool.
I'm like, I've been putting it off because I'm like,
$4.50.
I have to buy it. But
Can you go in on it with a couple friends? Or?
you can't share it.
They've locked it down.
I don't believe, and if you could, that'd be great. And yes, I would. I mean, me and Daniel talked about that, but I'm pretty sure you can't stream from two different IP addresses
at the same time.
Gotcha.
It limits you to one. They used to do that with the old NFL ticket, so I'm sure YouTube is locked that down.
The chat room might be able to figure it out. We got a lot of NFL guys in there right now. If you guys want to help Tom with that, please, by all means. But he's in need because I know you don't want to drop the $500.
That's fine.
It can be shared on two devices at once.
Yeah, but that
with immediate family members living in the same house.
Yes, it has to be in the same house. So, Max can be out on the patio
That's
watching
the technical answer, but
football.
we'll jump on Reddit and see
Well,
what
Daddy's in the other room.
So same IP, or actually two different devices with two different IP addresses. How
No, that'd be the same IP because your house, your internet
is the
would
IP.
be your IP, and you guys are on the same
connection.
connection.
Can't do it. Anyway, it's fine. Listen, it's fine. 17 weeks of entertainment. It's you got to.
I like
dish it
that.
out.
Yeah. You got to. Sometimes you got to pay for stuff. Everything's gone up.
But the fact that I was stealing it for $100 for years, it really puts a more stinger on it.
It does. All right, so it is. We're doing Weird Job, right? Is there anything else we need to plug?
On the merch, we got Flex Fit independent hats on TomandDan.com.
Yeah, that's the logo that sort of resembles the Independent Trucks logo. It's the red and the black. It's my favorite Tom and Dan logo we've ever done. Just a simple Flex Fit black hat that is, I believe, waterproof. It's that nice, easy to clean version.
And Eric just put a special if you get the full color BDM, the same logo we were doing for a BDM appreciation.
The BDM Diamond logo.
All right. Too many logos.
That will get you a free Tom and Dan sunglasses and Tom and Dan sunglass case and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, okay. I like that. All right. It is Weird Job time. I made a new song. Extremely timely. I actually have two in the can. I have one in the can. I'm ahead.
Oh, really?
I'm ahead. I didn't get to finish it this morning because the police showed up, but that's a story for later. We're not going to handle that now. We'll move on.
Lock him up.
Don't worry. Yeah, lock him up. All right, here is your latest Weird Job song. I got a weird job. I got a ticket on I-4. Baby, we need a deal. Maybe Tom will bring back the ticket challenge. I really hope he's gonna. Starting to think all we do is lose. That reminds me of something. Stop at McDonald's, I need a drop deuce. I got a weird job. I got a plan to get us out of here. Been working at iHeartRadio. Cheap Dick's paid is a little bit of money. Going pretty good so far. My intern name is Big Fat. They call me that because I'm a big fat slob. My mama says this is nowhere living. Woo! Sing. So remember that there are fat slobs working on these jobs. Slobs so fast that they'll make you throw up. And these jobs lay out before us, and we work these jobs that we have no choice. And I wish that I wasn't such a slob. And I have a feeling I will work this job, stay a slob and work this job.
There's no need for the sound effect.
The farts at the end. It's my signature. It's my signature. It'd be like if Liberace didn't do a bunch of piano arpeggio runs.
Yeah, that old, the other signature, which is the, hey, I'm God.
I got rid of that one. I got rid of that.
It was the whole thing. It was hello.
I got rid of that one.
Gotta stay fresh.
That one was problematic.
Well, that's the whole thing with the signature.
No, I changed my signature. You could change your signature.
Yeah, but it's so soon. How do people learn the old one?
You could change the signature. That was one of my favorite ones to sing, too.
I thought it's all turned into slob.
Yeah.
It's all slob.
Well, no, this one I was telling a story of a young man that wanted to be... You didn't get it?
Yeah,
oh, my God. This guy is straight dolt. What a dolt.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay,
it's always the slob. It's never the job.
I was the job. I was working at iHeartRadio, and the cheap dicks were paying me a little bit of money. And then I got a name. I won't repeat it. Sorry, I forgot that was in there. And then I had my intern name. I was telling a story.
I know. I heard the story.
Tracy Chapman is a modern-day storyteller. Luke Combs, modern-day storyteller. Dan Dennis, modern-day storyteller.
Well, he just stole someone's story.
But why
I told the story of the intern that works for iHeart.
Not you, Luke.
Why does that?
Oh, he stole the story.
Yeah.
You're right.
It just always leans slob the whole.
There's a lot of slobs. Have you looked outside lately? Chock full
You got
of
to
slobs.
tip your hat to the slobs that are working the jobs.
Yeah, slobs for jobs.
I forgot the person's name.
Yeah,
Stephanie.
Stephanie, welcome to the show and welcome to Weird Job Slobs.
Hi,
Welcome to Slobs with Jobs
No,
on
it's
Tom.
not-
We're
no,
changing
it's
the name of it.
No.
Welcome to Slobs with Jobs on Tom and Dan.
How you doing,
That's
Stephanie?
apropos. Hi, how's it going?
Good. So, Stephanie, what is your weird job?
Okay, so I am a singer-entertainer in the number one retirement community in Florida, probably the United States, the Villages.
Yeah! Hold on a second. Oh, my God.
I need intel.
My
Your
God.
battery's
My
dying.
father,
I like it better low to blow our ears out.
It's not as much fun to...
my father-in-law lives there, so
Hey!
So-
probably sang for him.
So you are a
Yes,
singer at
probably.
the Villages. So let's go to how is it full time?
So, I mean, it's not full-time, it's gigging, so I do gigs. It's a livable income. I sing in various, I'm like your typical, like what you think of when you think of a lounge singer. I do restaurants, bars, various country clubs, and the good thing about the Villages is everything closes up at 9, so I'm always home early.
Do you stick with the standards? Are you like, do you do a lot of jazz and a lot of
No, actually, most of my wheelhouse is a lot of country, Southern rock, and 70s rock. That seems to be kind of like
little Bonnie
targeting
Raitt?
this particular
Little Bonnie
demographic.
Raitt.
Yeah.
Let's give them something to talk about. You know?
Let's give them something to talk about.
Yeah. Talk about love.
Exactly.
So when you say
love
lounge
it.
singer, are you
I have
just,
a boner right now.
Are you, come on. Is it just background for
It's the
like
Cork Room
dinner,
Lounge.
or like are people sitting around watching you on a stage?
Okay, so it all depends. Certain places I definitely am background music, and they want it like at a lower volume. That's like more of the country club type atmosphere. But then there's certain bars that have like a stage set up specifically for this.
That's cool. I bet it's pretty.
I got followers, people that follow me from place to place, and it's different.
Do you ever have to, like, okay, so you have followers, you play place to place, so I would imagine that, do you have a group of, like, sort of regulars that show up and then they enjoy, like, one particular song that you do, like Brown Eyed Girl?
Yes, like there's the Mama He's Crazy guy who, like he
David
always
Jolly?
wants to hear that song by the Judds.
Okay, so he says Mama
was-
He's Crazy by the Judds. Okay, I know that song. So
Yeah.
he'll like, so you have like little old men. I'll be one of these very soon. So if you're still alive, you will see me. I'll raise my hand and you'll
What would be your request?
Yes, sir. For her, I would probably go with Black Velvet.
I love singing that one.
I bet you do. I bet you can sing it on my lap too. Woo! Because I'm a horny old man in the Villages. All right, let's role
man,
play.
It's not
Let's
just
role
the
play.
old men, it's the old women too.
Oh, I bet. Give me a little.
They're getting adventurous in their old
Give
age.
Tom a little Black Velvet a cappella.
Black velvet in that little boy's smile. like velvet in that slow southern style.
Oh my God! We both have boners now.
Come on.
Come on.
He's into it.
He's in now.
He's into it. You want to be an old man in the Villages? Hey,
Dude, you could be an Elvis impersonator with a pump.
Yeah, let's throw a Villages party for our BDMs and invite Jeff Howe.
Yes,
and then invite
Casey,
Melissa.
Jeff Howe.
Yeah, and
you
then
can't just go there and throw
not
a party.
in the
We
Villages.
got connections.
Oh, not in the
We got
Villages.
Stephanie. We got Gator Bill.
We're gonna pretend like we're in the
Oh, I'll
Villages.
get y'all in.
Everybody wears
Villages party. Village people.
Yeah, you dress like an old man. You put a loaf on, whichever one you want, and we throw a Villages party.
So, Stephanie, what's the clientele or the audience at the Villages? Because I feel like in people's imagination, it's all like real old men, but I feel like they're, a lot of the ones that go out to the events are maybe 60s. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody thinks
you're
80s.
100% correct. I'm 37, and I would say most of the people that come to see me are my parents' age, so 65-ish.
So they're not like
Jeff Howe's
elderly.
age.
Yeah.
Jeff Howe's
No, they're dancing. They're wild. They're day drinking. I've had to drive some of them home before.
Yeah,
I've done that at BDM.
I bet. And how many of these old men keep their hands to themselves?
Yeah.
It was a different time. Yeah. They grew up and grab them by the you-know-what.
Sweet teas.
Yeah, it is a whole different kind of experience, but it's. And when I had to move to the Villages, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be a bunch of old people, but I can't keep up with them. They are partiers.
Wow.
So, Daniel does bring up a good point of like how many of these old men are flirting with you, and
easy to fight off there because they're so frail.
Well, like I said, it's not just the old men; it's the old women. I would say, and it's not just me either. I would say anyone that's up on stage in the Villages is getting flirted with.
Wow.
I will say, I won't name the establishment, but I went to a place with some older partiers, and the women are more aggressive because I think
they
think that they get a pass. So I've had women grab me inappropriately, try and pull me on the dance floor with them without me wanting to. Like I feel like they get a pass, so they come harder than the men.
I would go to the Villages to watch a bunch of horny old ladies grabbing me. I would go watch that.
They start pouring their beer on their chest.
I would do that. I would go and watch these old ladies.
You pour some sugar on me, and they are dropping that Bud Light on their head.
All right.
Oh my God! Yeah.
See, she knows.
Yeah, she confirmed it.
So, Stephanie, what, give us an idea of, like, the array of songs that you do sing for them.
How long do you sing? Yeah, what's a normal set, and how long do you sing?
So, normally my sets are 3 hours, and I'll take, like, a 30-minute break, 15 minutes at the beginning, 15 minutes towards the end. I tell people that I do an array anywhere from Patsy Cline to Britney Spears.
Oh, nice.
These people love to dance. Like, most of the places I play at are high energy. They want dance music. They want rock and roll music. They want upbeat country music. They're not looking for slow songs. And I almost every single time, and I don't know if this is considered pandering or what, but every single time I end my set with God Bless the USA.
Yes! I just bought that. I just bought that record.
Listen, I'm not even kidding. I am not even kidding. I went to, after we went and saw Jinx Monsoon at Hard Rock, we went to Pat O'Brien's where they have the battling piano, the dueling pianos, right? They family requested that song, and they got up and sang it, and the whole family stood up and saluted. And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, I will do that.
It's not exactly a party song.
This is Melissa? Is that her
name?
Stephanie. Sorry, Stephanie. I apologize. I just bought Lee Greenwood on vinyl. And it has God Bless the USA on. I just bought it. It's sealed in the package, never been opened, from like 1986.
Oh, wow. I actually got to open up for him at the Orange Blossom Opry in Weirdsdale, Florida, about a year and a half ago.
The Orange Blossom Opry? I didn't even know we had an Opry here.
Yes, I didn't know until I moved up here either, but it's delightful. They have country music tributes and even some big-name country artists in there all the time. It's a great little venue out here.
That's really cool.
So, Stephanie.
Yeah, Weirdsdale.
How, do you wear some sort of costume?
Fishnets.
I'm curious the way you dress.
I would say most entertainers have their gimmick or their signature, so to speak. My thing is, because I do a lot of country and rock and roll, I'm usually wearing jeans, a cute top, and I have these knee-high pink cowgirl boots that I wear all the time.
Oh, Britney Spears. You got them white boots on. Rocking them whites.
My business cards are in black and pink. Like, pink is kind of part of my running theme.
Okay.
So
you got it. Hey, you don't want to dress like the audience.
Do you accept tips? Do these old people tip you?
Yes. Oh, yes. And, well, I was going to say when Samantha was talking about how, the old ladies are aggressive. They're aggressive, but they also tip better.
Is it weird? At the end of the night, do you have to go through your tip jar and weed out all the sucking candies that have been put in there?
Yeah, and all the forgotten golf cart keys. You have no idea.
Oh, no, they're not forgetting.
That's an invite.
That's an invite.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sam knows.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, they just want you to ride that donkey.
Well, Stephanie, so
God.
I think the urban legend that has been spread around way too much is the fact that all of the villages is full of swingers. They all have loofahs. They all swing. And then I'm like telling Crystal, she was telling me that. I'm like, no. I mean, that's a story that's been blown out of proportion.
Yeah,
it's been blown out of proportion.
It's a small percentage.
Yeah.
But there are definitely swingers because they have swinger parties all the time. I mean, but I would say there's not any more than any other neighborhood, to be honest.
I've always wanted to drive home an old lady who's dressed head to toe in American flags. Like the American flag cowboy hat. Everything, just driving them home. Like, you're too drunk to drive, Maud.
Everybody's got their thing.
Yeah, they got them.
So, how many days a week did you say?
Between 3 and 4. Usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then every now and then I'll get like a random weekday. But Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I stay pretty busy.
Do you have a husband or boyfriend or wife?
I do have a boyfriend.
Is he okay with you being basically a musical plaything for all of these old perverts? You're a musical plaything for the perverts. You get up there on the stage, you twirl around.
He's proud of me. He's proud of my accomplishments.
Yeah.
He supports me. He's been to my shows before.
Okay, do they not like you brought the young guy?
No, most of my people are regulars. Most of my people are followers. So they already know that I have a boyfriend. They've met him. They see him and stuff. So
gotcha.
It's the Villages has a lot of different rules about what you can and cannot do as an entertainer. So it's a lot more family friendly than what the rumors would lead you to believe.
Right. You're not going to get up there and start singing WAP.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to get up there and do Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg songs.
No, in fact, hip hop is explicitly banned. You can't say anything. I think one time
no rap, no crap. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Tater Hayes.
I remember one time last summer I tried to do a Lizzo song and I was promptly scolded for it by my boss.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Get that banana off the stage.
It is odd that when you're an old person, a lot of old people get offended by crass words and stuff. And didn't you burn down a village, the Viet Cong village?
Yeah, they did. They killed people.
Haven't you seen the worst atrocities that we could even imagine?
I think it's less about what it is and more about who's singing it. If you're picking up what I'm laying down.
I think people are just wanting to. They want to have a reason to be able to think that they're better than. There's a lot of entitlement attitude in the Villages because a lot of these people are filthy rich, and I think they want to have a reason to look down on, the working class.
Yeah, I get it.
Is there a section of the Villages of mansions? Because it all seems like they have basically the standard, I mean, I don't know if I would say mansions, but there are some homes that are much, much bigger than the average homes. They're so mass-produced. The Villages encompasses Marion, Sumter, and Lake counties, and they just keep building.
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger.
But they're so expensive. The houses here are so expensive for no reason.
Right, and that's basically everything. Everything's expensive for no reason right now.
If you live in New York and you're getting rid of your $890,000 house and you want to retire at the Villages in Florida and have hot weather year round,
it's a good choice.
Yeah, so you're like, I'll pay $500,000 and bank the rest. Who cares?
It's a little compound and it has everything you need in your community.
And they pay it off. A lot of them pay them off.
Yeah, and then I'm
just don't listen to any rap music.
Yeah, rap is crap.
No rap music, no curse words.
What about soul? What about Motown? Is that it?
I do a lot of soul. So I even do I do Soul Man. I do a lot of soul music.
They love Soul Man, especially when he's taking the tanning pills to make himself dark. Sorry.
Hey,
80s reference.
Like, what other entertainment is going on in the villages? Because they have basically entertainment every day.
Are there any men that do the same thing you do?
Oh, yeah. I would say it's probably mostly men. To be honest, I'm probably on the lower rung of the totem pole, so to speak, because I'm a vocalist by myself. But I dance, I engage the crowd. I'm also a storyteller, like y'all mentioned earlier. I tell them stories. I keep the people engaged. But there's acoustic guitar acts, there's piano acts, dueling piano acts. In fact, my dad's one of the dueling piano players that plays up here, too. He actually used to work at Pat O'Brien's, like Sam said earlier.
No way. Well, I probably partied with your dad, unfortunately.
Probably.
Probably to like a point where I was like vomiting in an alleyway or something. Man, we used to twist that place sideways. Oh, Pat O'Brien's. Those hurricanes, just thinking about it make my head.
That's the last drink I had.
Oh, my God. They're so tasty.
Medium Adrian.
They're so tasty. How could something that tasty be that bad afterwards?
Because it's all alcohol.
No, sugar
and alcohol.
But like the first taste of it, you're like, this is the way drink should taste.
80 grams of sugar. So, Stephanie, I guess the last question is, does the villages pay entertainers well?
Yeah, the entertainment pay is... I'll tell you this. It's better than what I was making working 40 hours a week as a waitress, and I probably work about 12 hours a week now.
All right.
That's all I needed to hear. That's a very honest answer, and there are a lot of waitresses that can sing right now that are contemplating doing something different.
Now,
well, that's how I got into it. I was actually waiting tables at one of the restaurants up here that had nightly entertainment, and I was thinking... They're not doing anything I couldn't do. I invested in the equipment and started to put my name out there. And
they're small business.
I've been doing it.
I love it. That's awesome, man. Well done.
I have one more thing to tell you, and you can take this information and do what you want.
Now, keep in mind, this is coming from a future old pervert.
And Stephanie, this is for one day you could get rich like this. So,
OnlyFans singing on the OnlyFans?
No. You have to find one of these regulars that has fallen in love with you, one of these old men, right?
Anna Nicole.
And then slowly but surely, start dropping hints about what your future dreams are and what you could wish to only do. But
make an album.
Yeah, and all these things you want to do, but you don't have the money and stuff. Yeah. And this person has a bunch of money that he just sits on, and his
no friends, easily manipulated.
Yeah, but he's got a family. They're just waiting for him to die. They don't come visit him.
Well, they're not nice to him. But if you be nice to him, you become his new family.
And then
one foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel.
Yes,
exactly,
Lizzo.
And he starts thinking, Stephanie, the singer I'm in love with, maybe I'll change my will and give her, a couple $100,000.
Now you're gonna have to drive him there and hold the pen in his hand to do it.
Because he's mad because his son's
gonna hate you, and his son looks just like Fred Durst, but he's 50.
He's gonna get me on Dateline.
No.
And his son's not thinking like him politically, so he's disappointed.
Well, it's the drugs. He's on the drugs.
And so he will leave you his fortune when he dies, and then you'll get that call, and then you have to go to that, that stereotypical, you show up, and there's the video of him, and then all the family's there. And then
but they won't look you in the eyes.
And then you're a
slut.
You're standing in the back with your pink cowboy boots.
Yeah. Don't wear those. Don't wear those. I would say dress understated for the actual will reading.
And then he's like, I leave all my money.
He's shaking too.
To Stephanie, the lounge singer, and then everybody
starts fighting.
Yeah, the whole family's mad.
They start yelling,
and then you're sitting back there, and then the lawyer's like, "Nothing we can do." He put it in the video.
Sorry.
And then you get the whole mansion. And then he bought Amazon stock in the 80s.
No one knew the power of you singing Black Velvet.
He's got 500 shares of Amazon that he bought 25 years ago. Anyway. I'm just throwing it out there, Stephanie. You could be rich one day.
And you could actually do this more than once. You could do this more than once with more than one old guy.
Now, you will have to ride home with him one night in the golf cart.
Well, you're going to have to do some stuff.
And then, you're going
to have to remove the boots if you know what I'm saying. It's going to be, you've heard of Black Velvet. There's also gray velvet.
And it doesn't even work.
God.
It's disgusting. His skin is like gray velvet.
He just wants to look at you dance like True Lies.
It doesn't
doesn't work down there.
Nothing happens.
So you don't have to do anything.
It's just sensations in the brain.
But you're going to have to dance a little bit.
It's going to be a True Lies scenario. You're going to have to dance around in a bikini.
But you'll be rich.
You will be rich.
It'll all be worth it.
Here's another tip.
It will.
Grow out the bush because old guys like that.
Oh, my God.
Don't say, oh, my God. Well, look, we're trying to give you real advice and you're spitting in my face.
I appreciate it. I don't know what I would do without y'all.
All right, Stephanie.
Don't say that, Stephanie.
She's my favorite listener of all time. Well, hey, thank you for your time. Congrats on being a vocalist in the Villages, and thank you for thanking us for being rude to you. No, we're happy that you did this, and blessings, and many blessings.
All right.
All right, thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate
Okay,
it.
have a good weekend.
Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
With us on the line.
This is huge.
Is pretty exciting for all of us. Guitar legend Joe Satriani. How you doing, Joe?
I'm very good today. How are you guys doing?
Really good, man. I have to say something. I haven't had this memory pop into my head since, God, I'm going to try and, I think it was 1990. I'm in my friend David Smith's white Volvo. He just got a new system put in, and we decided to test the audio quality of his Volvo by listening to you, Surfing with the Alien, where it's loud as it would go. And you are the person synonymous with teaching me as a musician that you don't need a vocalist in the band, that the guitar player can actually be the number one reigning star. And thank you for that memory, man. I certainly appreciate the fact that you're part of something that means a lot to me.
Oh, that's so cool. That's a great story. And I'm glad you turned it up because that record was made to be turned up really loud.
Really loud.
That was back before loudness wars and, the trend in mastering where you would have like 1 dB dynamic range to your album. So, I think that at times there's like a 25 dB
swing.
Dynamic range. Crazy. No one makes records like that anymore. So.
Yeah, it's true.
It allows you to turn it up, and it just gets better and better the louder it gets. So that was the idea.
I love it, man.
So real quick, Joe, you're going to be down in South Florida at the Wentworth Gallery September 8th,
the 9th
and 10th at 3 different Wentworth galleries. So one's at Seminole Hard Rock, one's at Boca Raton. You can find all the information at satriani.com.
Yep.
But Joe, I want to ask you about your hand-painted guitars and tell us a little bit about what you're doing down in South Florida.
Yeah, this is such a crazy opportunity. I mean, just walking into an art gallery and seeing my crazy paintings. I mean,
they're good, man.
Crazy stuff. It's not your average artwork, and to see it all on the gallery walls. I never see it that way in my studio, of course, because they're raw canvases, and,
sure.
And once I'm finished with something, I kind of put it away to keep it safe. So that's a huge, wonderful emotional shock just to see that. And, thank God for Wentworth Gallery for giving me that space. And then I get to meet everybody who wants to talk about the crazy artwork. And then I get to play my guitars that I've painted as well and play some music for people in a really casual setting. And then most of the time someone's bought a few of the guitars, and so I bring them up when we play a song together. So it's a
amazing
unique experience.
That's an experience. I mean, to buy a hand-painted
from like your Guitar Hero, right?
Satriani guitar, and then get to jam with them after. That's an incredible experience for anybody who's a fan of yours, Joe.
Yeah, how did you get into, I mean, obviously we've all known you as the musician, but we didn't know of you as the artist. Have you always been somebody that dabbled in painting or sketching? I think one of the videos or interviews I was watching this morning, I saw you doing some pretty intricate character work, these little character guys, these little angry guitar men, they kind of look like, and it was really cool. I was like, oh my God, he's created his own little, almost like your own little logo.
Yeah, it's funny. You probably can't see stuff like that.
Yeah, that's him.
I started with small images, mainly because, I was youngest of 5 kids. My 2 oldest sisters were art majors. They got degrees in fine art. My dad was, although he was an engineer by trade, he was a really good painter. And so there was always examples of great artistic talent in the house, and there was always paints and sketch pads and everything. And the thing is that I always drew the weirdest things. I could not really do realism like my sisters or my dad. So I gravitated towards, what did you say, Angry Guitar Man? I love that.
Yeah, well, I liked it. In the interview, you were talking about sketching, and you were talking about you were playing, and you were coming home, and you were talking about your hands hurting, and that you said your fingertips felt like fire, and you said you were drawing how you felt, and you said that the little creation, the little angry guitar man that you drew was kind of like how you felt, that your fingertips were burning and you were doing these sketches, and then it kind of like expanded from there, and I was like, oh my god, this is like crazy that you did this. And like some of my other favorite punk bands, like the Descendants, they have like the Milo character. It's like, it's crazy to think how rock and roll and art hand in hand, like, it's just very interesting that you created that. Now, do you draw physically on each guitar? Do you paint on the guitar? Are they printed? Like, what's the media form?
It usually starts with either me taking either a paintbrush or a pen to the guitar. I mean, the funny thing is that I get the guitars ready for retail. They're literally strung up, finished, in a box. And the first thing I have to do, which is really cathartic, is take the thing apart. Every single thing, put all the screws and pickups and everything in a box, and then unscrew the neck from the body, and then I sand everything, and then I start from scratch, and I start applying a base color that I want to use, and then I start to think, well, maybe I'll draw a face, or I'll use an imprint of something that I've cut out from paper or something like that, and do several imprints, and then add the drawing to that. It takes quite a while because the stuff has to dry, and then you're not quite sure if your ideas are going to work out. So I generally will work on maybe 4 to 8 guitars at once. And so they're all sort of laying around the studio in different stages of completion and drying and stuff like that. Then once I get them all together, finish painting, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to, if I do anything else, it's going to screw it up. It's like playing a song, it's like you don't want to put too many notes in.
True. Yeah. Like Tom tells me, even producing stuff, he's like, you're done. It's done. You finished it. You finished it.
Yeah. It's hard to know, but it's good if you've got someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, you've done enough, Anyway, I send it off to this guy named Jerry Dorsch, up in Washington, and he does some beautiful finishing on these guitars. He makes them like super 3D and shiny, and of course puts on a hard shell so people can play these things professionally. I get them back, and I put together the case candy and everything I need to do, and then I bring that whole thing over to Gary Brower, my luthier here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and Gary puts the guitar back together and puts it on his Plek machine, which does the frets exactly to my specification. So by the time I get it back, it feels like a guitar that I could play in a show any day. I could use to record. It just feels comfortable.
Oh, man, that's crazy to think that you could own like the rig of, again, like a guitar player that you admire so much.
Yeah.
And you could have it and it's set to his. And a lot of people don't know when you, like, I'm a drummer, but like I still noodle on guitars and stuff. I bought a Martin this year. It was like a big deal for me to buy a nice acoustic. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know if you don't play is that the setup for each guitar is going to be different for everybody who plays. So is your setup, like when people get it, it's set up for like you, it's set up for Joe, and then they can play. Is it like how's the action on is it like, how do you like your setup for in layman's terms?
Oh, we could talk for hours about action. So going back like 35, maybe 40 years even, I had this idea that if I was going to play traditionally like blues up in the first position, chords, strumming, rhythm guitar, and, anywhere from, Malcolm Young to Alan Holdsworth and everybody in between, I'd need a special setup because, a blues guitar generally sounds pretty good when the action's high.
Sure.
And if you're going to play like Buddy Guy, though, it's going to be different than Stevie Ray Vaughan. You have to have thinner strings because Buddy's bending like crazy,
Yeah, different styles of playing, right.
Yeah. Even, players like Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen, they had very unusual string sets in order to accommodate their style of playing. And what I was noticing is that I played melodies all the time. Like in my gig, I hit the stage, maybe I play a riff, but it's mainly melody solo, just like for 2.5 hours.
Gotcha.
So my setup is different than, let's say, Slash or someone that's in a real band, where you got a singer, you got songs, and you solo for little sections,
Sure.
So I realized that, the action has got to be even everywhere so that the low strings, when I'm tapping all the way on the top, aren't too boomy. And the high strings have to really sing, and the intonation has to be perfect because I'm playing melodies. I'm not just doing a crazy solo.
Right.
So that took a long time for Gary to figure out a way to get the action to be extremely low from the first fret all the way to the 22nd when we started, and now we use 24 fret necks. I'm sure I'm boring half of you.
No, what's interesting about this, and what I want to point out, and what I think is so interesting about this, is that he's painting art on the guitar. But if you really think about it from a musician standpoint, his friend, your luthier, is going in and doing another version, like almost subconsciously, of art in the guitar, right?
Yeah,
because it is an art.
Yeah, it is an art. The action, the way that thing is set up to a world-class, maybe the world-class guitar specifications, to me, is another art. So the guitar, as it sits, is almost two pieces of art. It's a playable piece of art set up for a world-class guitarist, and it's also personal art from Joe Satriani. It's blowing my mind a little bit. I'm digging it, man.
Also, at these appearances, when you purchase one of these guitars, you will get a private performance inside the gallery.
So this is awesome, man. Really, really cool that you're doing this.
And if you're brave enough, you come up and you play with me with that guitar. So
you can jam with them.
I would be scared. Yeah. I think I would be very scared.
Joe, I found it very interesting. You put up an Instagram post about your fingers after a show, and they were shredded.
Oh, God.
Like your fingers were basically rubbed raw on the tips, and what I was, for whatever reason, I thought, I was like, oh, Joe for sure has some sort of special polymer
guitar tape
that NASA gave him, or someone invented for him,
the Space Edge technology,
and then he puts on his fingers so they don't get shredded, but they were still shredded, and I was surprised that you didn't have anything custom tailored to your fingers so they didn't get shredded every time you played. But that's still a problem, right?
I can't believe it's still a problem. I mean, I've been playing guitar since I was 14 years old, and I have the same issues. I mean, that I had from the first gig. I remember the very first gig I played when I was 14 at the Carr Place High School gym.
Wow.
And by the time the night was over, my fingers were shredded, and I couldn't figure out why. And it dawned on me, summertime, maybe I took, I was so nervous. I took a long shower before I went to the gig, just, how teenagers are. You get all freaked out about your appearance and everything.
Sure.
And I forgot, that this is the most important part of the gig, is keeping your fingertips as hard as possible.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what it is. It just, I guess it's just our bodies, change day to day, week to week. Every once in a while, every other tour, it pops up and one of the fingers decides not to hang on to the calluses long enough. And I've got a weird gig. I mean, it's very demanding. I bend a lot of notes.
Yeah. And the tapping is what's the hardest style of, I guess for the physicality of it, what's the hardest, grind on you day to day when you're playing? Is it the tapping?
Oh, it's the bending. It is the old, classic rock, blues rock style of bending is really the thing that it's tough on the calluses. It's tough on your forearm, and your wrist and everything else. The tapping is a very delicate thing. So it really is easy to do. The playing of fast scalular kind of things, that's also very easy. That's why you can see 8-year-olds on YouTube playing super fast, because that's the easy part.
Right.
The hard part is playing a couple of notes and just making it sound so beautiful that it reaches people's hearts around the world.
Yeah.
And that requires this sort of attention to the bending and finessing, and that actually that takes a lot. I mean, that's mind, body, spirit, fingertip, everything put together. So when you're done doing it right, you do feel a bit exhausted from it. And if you're bending the strings as much as I do, because there's no singer, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm playing all those sort of vocal style.
These are your singers, or your hands, yeah. Which is what
singer fingers.
Yeah, finger singers. Yeah, I like that. I like finger singers. That's good.
It's tough. I mean, it's not as hard as singing. I mean, I know what it's like, just touring with Sammy, and that to me, singing is the hardest job there is. Maybe it's up there with drumming. Guitar players, we get cut a lot of slack. We can always scrape the strings or make a funny noise. But singers and drummers, they really, they got to put their body out there. There's no hiding it,
Gotcha.
It's a beat or you can't hit a note. Everybody knows.
Sure. Joe, since you mentioned it and touring with Sammy and Chickenfoot, I'm curious to how Chickenfoot came together.
I was the same question. I was like, how do
supergroup?
It's like, Daddy, how do super groups get born? How does that happen?
Yeah, they sometimes they get made up the wrong way. Somebody in an office somewhere gets a bright idea and starts making phone calls. This one was pretty funny. I mean, I'd known Sam for a while, but always met him in the funniest places, like men's room at an award show or something like that, and rehearsal space or something. Just we live here in Northern California, so we would run into each other all the time. And he was a superstar in my book. I grew up listening to him.
For sure.
Singing in Montrose and his solo records and Van Halen. So anyway, he calls me out of the blue one Super Bowl weekend back in 2008, I guess. And he's first, you should know, if Sammy Hagar calls you on the phone, you kind of hold the phone like 3 feet away from your ear.
Is he like, hey, Joe! Woo! Yeah. Red Rocker, baby!
He's just an enthusiastic person, So he's screaming at me something, and I think I'm trying to figure out what he's saying, and he said it's about going to Vegas, bring my guitar and my amp, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to play some Led Zeppelin or something. And Chad's going to be there, and Mikey, and I thought, that sounds like fun, So I showed up, and that was the first time I met Chad and Mike as well. And so we just sort of talked about what we were going to do, and then we hit the stage for the encore, and it went so well that after, backstage right afterwards, everyone agreed we should be a band. And Sammy just sort of blurted out that we should call it Chickenfoot, and everybody said, absolutely no way are we calling this band Chickenfoot. And of course,
it is. Now, is it?
That's amazing.
And this is something that I've thought about before. Like when you guys meet, so you meet, Michael's there, Chad, Sammy. You have your amp and guitar. Do you guys run through anything, or please tell me?
So good.
Thank you. Please tell me that because you're Joe, Michael, Chad. Like these are some of my favorite musicians.
Like we got it.
Yeah, you guys are just like Led Zeppelin. Oh man, I got Led Zeppelin burned in here. Like, and you just go out there. And do you just go out there with no practice and kill it?
Yeah. I mean, that's easy to do. We've all been playing so long. I think that's what made Chickenfoot so much fun, is that for some reason that we didn't discuss, when we played together, right from the downbeat, we didn't try to make it like, Surfing with the Alien meets Van Halen meets Chili Peppers. So for some reason, we left that all behind, and we became four people that shared influences going back to classic rock. And we just decided, let's just celebrate all that music that we love. And from that came just a different sound, like a new band. And that's why we created the band, because it was obvious that there was this chemistry that, created this fifth element that was worth pursuing.
That's awesome.
It's really exciting. I mean, it's a very volatile, exciting band. Hard to sort of keep it together because of it, but that's kind of like what makes it fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Joe, I'm fascinated with how humans' brains work, especially with insanely talented people that have a skill that other people can't even come close to.
Like the one of one.
Yeah. So, Joe, I'm curious about this. Where like you have taught some of the most famous guitar players of all time.
I went through your list today, and there were so many people I didn't even know you taught, and I knew a lot of them, but man.
So, here's my question. So, when you're teaching another human being guitar, can you recognize that they have some genetic skill or the way their brain works is similar to yours? Because I imagine that your brain is special when it comes to playing guitar.
You have a guitar brain.
And could you recognize that gene or whatever that is that you have in someone else? Or am I totally wrong?
Well, I think I started teaching when I was really young. I was just a teenager myself, and Steve Vai was one of my first students. I started teaching because the kids at the high school where I was playing, Battle of the Bands and dances and whatever they used to call them, would start to come to my house and ask for lessons. So I was teaching my schoolmates, some of my teachers, but I'd only been playing about a year myself. So
it's crazy.
What I realized early on was that the way that a teacher should work is, first of all, you have to be prepared to surrender everything that you know. And the other thing is you have to, as quickly as possible, figure out what are the attributes of the student, what are the talents that they can use, that you can harness during a lesson to help them move forward somehow. And everyone's totally different. And the combinations of talent, you just can't be prepared for the variety. I've had students that could play faster than me, but had no ear for music. They just couldn't tell what key they were in. Or you get players that can barely, play at medium tempo, but have the most sensitive ears to melody and harmony. Some people have got this unbelievable sense of timing and groove, and but no sense of pitch. Or they're sloppy, but they're brilliant. Or they're really clean, precise players, but really boring.
Sure.
It floors me when I think back to the variety of students that I've had. So right away, I would want to know, let's say within 5 minutes, if I was doing a lesson with one of you, I'd want to see, do you have a good sense of timing? And do you know if something's in tune or out of tune? Can you do this with your fingers? Can you play a couple of chords and then try to find out how much experience you've had on the instrument? And sometimes you get lucky where a beginner, in 10 minutes shows you that they've got everything they need to move forward. And you're hoping that they have desire. And that's, without that, there's nothing. Right. I remember sitting down with, let's say, I can give you two examples, like
Sure.
Steve Vai. He was 12 years old. The kid had everything. And he had this desire that blew me away. I mean, totally blew me away when he would come back after a week and he would have memorized everything that I showed him.
Wow.
And he'd be hungry for more. And after about a year, it was like we were really, there was the student and teacher, and we just got closer and closer, and we just became guitar buddies after that.
That's cool.
Because he progressed so fast. Now, Kirk Hammett, on the other hand, he was already playing lead guitar in Exodus when he came for lessons. So he was really just about to become a full-on professional player.
Yeah.
But there were things that he really wanted. So he had that desire, and he had really strong opinions about what he liked and what he didn't like, which was great. So I didn't have to deal with a sort of a wishy-washy.
Right. What do you want to do? He knew what he wanted to do.
Knew, and he had players that, he was like, I love Michael Schenker, I like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix, and he had a bunch of players, Uli John Roth, that he really admired, and it really helped me sort of focus in and figure out, well, what is he missing? And then I'd say there is one other thing, which is don't screw them up, which is, you don't want to give or impose your style on an impressionable young student.
Sure.
Let them become who they want to become. And
is that hard to do? Like, is it hard for you? Like, if you see something that maybe it is a style, but you don't necessarily see it as being as, I don't know, like maybe you're judging it, because we all do, we're all human. How hard is it? Difficult to kind of like hands off and be like, you might got something there, or how do you handle that?
You step back and you realize that everyone has their likes and dislikes, and they're 100% valid. When it comes to music or art or anything,
sure.
You can't convince somebody to like a kind of music or like a painting. They either do or they don't.
Right. True.
So you get over that really fast. And I think I've always felt this. That it's a kind of a profound moment when you're sitting across from a young student and they have that talent and that desire. I just noticed right away that this is a special moment and I should not screw it up. I don't get in the way, just provide.
Yeah.
So like with Kirk, I knew what he was looking for. He just didn't know how to explain it. And so I said, it could be this stuff. So let's go over all these scales and these kinds of chords. Find what you like, use it. If you don't like it, don't use it. And that eventually becomes what everyone knows is his style. Same with Steve or Alex Skolnick or Larry Lalonde. Man,
Larry Lalonde, that's a name I hadn't heard in forever, and truly growing up. Huge Primus guy as a young boy, and I had no idea that you guys were even connected. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that. And talk about like experimental, crazy, mind-blowing, weirdo guitar guys. I loved Larry. I always thought he was the coolest. Thank you so much for the time today. And we had a ton of people that were excited about you and the ability to go and see your paintings at these galleries. And again, it is the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th at the Wentworth Galleries.
Listen, I'm going to put together a once-in-a-lifetime experience for anybody out there that's a guitar lover. You go down to the Wentworth Gallery, you buy a custom-painted Joe Satriani guitar, and then jam with them after. And then you hang that guitar up in your studio or your whatever room that you have all your stuff in, and then you have a story. You're like,
or you play it forever.
I jam with Joe.
Which would you rather
that he painted?
Joe, which would you rather have people do? Would you rather them buy it and hang it, or buy it and play it?
Both.
A little bit of both.
Maybe buy one for hanging, one for playing.
Hey, he's a businessman. I love it. Hey,
I can't believe I said that.
No, I like it. You're messing around. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for the time. And again, we hope to do this again sometime. And if you're ever in Orlando, we'd love to have you stop by.
Thank you. Yeah, let's plan on it.
All right, man. Take care.
Joe.
Cheers.
That is Joe Satriani live from what appears to be his house.
So I remember when I was
that man's taught everyone.
When I was in,
he looks great for 67.
Yeah, looks great, sounds great, and
very humble and sweet.
I'm going to tell you guys something. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt.
No,
I think that might have been the biggest rock star I've talked to. Like, as far as like he's touched most.
Hold on, we interviewed Rick Springfield.
Who played Epcot?
I'm just saying.
And he banged a 15-year-old Linda Blair.
He did indeed. Beat that, Satriani.
But I remember in middle school when like my friends and bands would talk, they're like, Joe Satriani is the best guitar player of all time.
Yeah, people still say that.
Yeah, and the fact that, he's a living legend, right?
Yes.
Anyone that will bring up anybody else to compare him to, it's like, well, he probably taught them.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Listen to all the ones he just said he taught.
And that's not even half of it. That's not even half of it, y'all. Like, you need to actually go and drill down the number of people he's taught. It's crazy. You got, like, Third Eye Blind on there. The Kurt Hammett I had known about. I'm blanking on a lot of the other ones that were listed in there, but it's a crazy amount of
Steve
influence.
Vai,
the Steve Vai one's the weird one, right? And then here.
But it's like 12-year-old Steve Vai before,
Here's the song. Here, a little bit of surfing with the alien.
This was going to be the dumb question I was going to ask, but I didn't.
There are no dumb questions, Tom.
But I'm curious that if there was like an international or world guitar competition, would that be impossible to judge and quantify the results of someone? You know what I'm saying? Because it's all subjective.
It would have to depend on what the judging would be consisted of.
Because
right?
There's so many
like technique and finger picking, and like I said, sliding, bending. hammer-ons.
There's so many
all
different
that's a different
styles.
type of technique.
Yeah, like, you know, even like Travis
see
picking.
what the criteria was.
What you would have to do is you'd have to have them compete in all different styles.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and then who's the best
overall.
well-rounded? Because even he said, like, there's people that are faster than me, and their fingers are faster, but they can't put all the stuff together that he can.
Well, they're not composers, right? A lot of people can play, they just can't compose.
Sure. And then he
can do it all.
He's the most well-rounded, probably he would never probably rate himself, but he's got to be top 3 in the world.
Seems a bit too humble. Now, a lot of younger people would disagree with us, right? Like, there's new guys out. I see them all the time with the neck tattoos, and they play like these crazy guitars. It's an Asian guy and then a guy with a little mustache and a long swoopy hair.
Oh.
Have you seen these guys on YouTube?
No.
And Polyphonia. Look up Polyphonia. They are the new, like,
Joe Satriani.
They're the new guys. Hold on.
But just from experience, right? Joe Satriani has to know more than anybody younger.
Well, that's what I would say, but I'm just saying, I'm playing the part of a jerky young person, and I'm saying that they make fun of, like, the Polyphonia guys actually have a term for, like, older rock guys. I forget what they call them. It's like when people say butt rock, anything but rock.
All right.
Okay, here they are. I got them. Here are the new, this is the new Joe Satriani.
Okay.
Right here. You ready? This is Polyphonia.
I know nothing about any of this.
Well, you're not a music guy, right? This is what I do. Now see him? There's the swoopy haired guy. And then there's the Asian guy in the center. They're all instrumental.
Good.
Yeah, they're just insanely good. They're doing the hammer-ons. They're doing the harmonics.
But I wonder if Satriani looked at this, he's like, I can do any of this. You know, of course, right? Like,
I'm going to say... I probably should have brought this up.
He could be like, they're doing it the easy way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's only someone that is the best could even recognize. Like, that's the thing, too. I see this, and I'm like, yeah, well, that seems like 10 out of 10. But I don't know, you know? I mean, kind of like skateboard tricks. You don't know which one's the hardest.
See, a lot of what these guys are doing, and I could be wrong, but a lot of what this Asian guy, he's the one that I've heard talk about the, like, old heads and kind of bagging on, like, the older guitarists. I think that guy, I think that Joe Satriani would see what he's doing and know how to do all of it.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Daniel.
So
wait, you didn't? You just skipped right over Sam.
Sam is here. How you doing, Sam?
Wow,
not doing great.
Wow,
not acknowledged.
Wow, you know what? I apologize for my business partner just barreling right over you. I do see out of the corner of my eye that there is a footballman here, which might have something to do in the fact that you were ignored.
Oh,
there is a football.
Well, he's forgetting a lot today. So
what's up? You cut your Adderalls in half?
No.
You cut your Adderalls in half?
No,
I've been doing that with my anxiety medication.
Why?
I'm weaning myself off of it.
I don't think it's over.
I need to get myself off of it because the only way I'm going to actively murder my family is if I'm off the medication. So,
is that your Dr. Disease opinion or
no, me, Dr. Crazy? It's my opinion.
That is a tell that you only took half.
No, it's not true.
So we've got the Adult Science Night Live coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, man,
at the
SNL.
Orlando Science Center. So
you mean the award-winning Orlando Science Center?
Yes.
You mean Orlando's greatest museum?
Yes.
I don't know if it's supposed to be in that category, but that's what they won. They are Orlando's
They're
greatest...
willy-nilly with the category.
Everybody gets a category.
Who cares? Not in Orlando, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the Science Center, they won... Hold on, I got it here. They won... They got Best Museum, and then I think they got a second place for something. I'm going to have to dig in here and find it. But yeah, man, Orlando Science... Oh, yeah, they got second place for Best Place for Family Fun. So congratulations, Science Center.
Jesse is here from the Fourth and Dirty podcast.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you guys?
So, Fourth and Dirty podcast about fantasy football.
Yes.
It's
a great name.
I think a lot of people either just have done their drafts or about to do their drafts this week.
We did ours early, dude. Most people we did ours and everybody was like, why are you doing it so early?
We are doing the Semantics League this weekend, and Jesse is our commissioner, so he'll be hosting us. So
You got a good commissioner. I feel like you got a lot of knowledge.
So I'm glad you're here, Jesse, because
me too.
I know a lot about fantasy
That was
football.
a hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah, that was a hashtag me too.
And I know a lot about podcasts, and I'm going to tell you all about it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Teach me
just sit
something.
back.
We're
and
glad
relax.
we're glad you're here, and more importantly, you're glad you're here.
Yes.
First off, I'm going to let everybody know how to make their fantasy football league better.
Whoa,
Hold
on a second.
And Jesse can just
I feel
agree
like I'm
or
on-
disagree.
How
with
many
what
are
I'm
you
saying.
in? How many are you in, Tom?
Two.
Well, I'm in one of our
You're in
heritage,
two.
and then a guillotine league.
Yeah, I'm in a guillotine league too.
How many are you in, Jesse?
I'm in over 20.
Okay.
That's too many. My God, that's like you have a
don't have enough
My
time
God.
to concentrate just on one.
like you're a degenerate.
So first, Tom Van advice.
By the way, when you said that, when you're like, here's how to make your fantasy football better, I was like, am I on Huffington Post?
Yeah.
Am I taking a quiz?
And Jesse can agree or disagree.
He's American. He has free will.
An easy thing to make your league more entertaining and I believe pull in and make everybody more engaged is get a trophy.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I feel like without a trophy that the winner gets to hold each year, or without something to signify the winner winning instead of just the money like everybody does or whatever, get a trophy. They're online at a bunch of different places. They're not an advertiser, but I believe what was it called? Didn't you have the same one? It's a
Trophy Smack is probably
Trophy
the one.
Smack,
you
yeah,
gotta-
yeah,
We
yeah.
have the same one, but ours is gold.
Is this one right here?
yeah. It wasn't that expensive. Like that thing
No.
was
Very reasonably priced.
like $129
It
or $130
wasn't bad, and the shipping was good, and the way it was
good,
packaged was good, and it's holding up, and it's like pretty well made.
Now,
and
brilliant business people, because
As I break.
where they get you is $12 placards.
yeah, absolutely. Every year, $12 placards.
Yeah. So it's like BDM subscription. Like once you have it, then the only way to get the extra, whatever. Is
Well, you're stuck to it too because they're specifically sized to work with this. You're locking yourself into either VHS or Betamax, right? Like it's like you're locked in. But no, it does look good. It's like I kind of like there was a part of me that almost like thought that this was cheesier, that we should make our own.
Hey, but no one's going to do that. That's the thing.
I know.
Just order it for your league. Trophy Smack. There's a bunch. Just look up fantasy football trophies. Order it, and everybody will be happy. Even if no one is requesting it, it just makes the more fun. It increases the value of even doing this.
The chat room. Couple comments. Pig T Christine says the Semantics trophy way better. Correction. Not a trophy, so you can get on out of the chat room.
That's a championship belt.
That's
we
not
can
a
have that
trophy.
too.
That's not a trophy.
And
it's a belt.
we may add that. It'd be a belt, trophy, anything to
Prior
signify.
to this, we were the winners were getting custom art from Eric Pabon.
I like
so
that.
it would be like whatever transpired during that particular season.
Still
we would
a trophy.
incorporate into the art.
I love that, but I'm in it for one
You need
thing.
some sort of prize
Something
beyond
extra.
money.
I'm in it for
I don't
one
like
thing
it
and
as
one
much.
thing only. You know what I'm in for? I'm in for the cold hard cash.
Okay,
That's what I'm in it
I'm
for.
glad you
No,
brought up
no.
the next. Okay, this may be something
Cold
we
hard.
disagree, Jesse.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of those.
I don't do this for the fun. I do this purely to support my family.
Up the monetary amount for that everybody has to buy in,
And it's got to be an amount
enough for the $20, even the
$50 buy.
$100.
What is a $50 buy-in?
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
for
that
the whole
is?
season?
That's an entree and unlimited soup and salad at Olive Garden. That's nothing.
That's not going to get everybody to pay attention.
No.
It's
got to be It's got to be a scary amount of money you put on the line.
And that's the number one problem when you're playing fantasy football is the people that don't set their lineups on time and forget about it, and then you end up you're tied with someone, and then the person they're playing against that week forgets to change their QB on their bye week, and then you're like, you gave him the win, you idiot! You screwed me because you gave him the win. Anyway, so up the monetary.
I think I did that one time. I think he was looking at me when he was screaming that.
It happens
That's my
every
everyday.
So that's why I
That
looked
felt
at you
like
and
me.
screamed.
That felt like me, and I'm a winner.
He took that personally.
Yeah, well, he's never won.
So what do you think about that, Jesse?
I disagree on the money front. Cost can be a deterrent from keeping people playing, but if you have a lower dollar amount, I think you should do something like what we did with Semantics, where you have more players. Ergo, the prize pool does now become very palatable.
Okay, well,
you're winning several $100s, not just I won,
Okay, that's
$80 for my friends.
I like that.
Like the winner gets like $1,400 this year.
That's a pretty good amount of money.
$1,200 or something, and it's not enough even for me. I would like to up it to $500.
I want to win. I want to when I win again, which I will. I want to win $5,000. That's what I want to win.
I'd bet you 5,000 right now, 2-1 that you won't win.
Okay, 2-1. But will you add that you won't win? Because there's no chance you'll win.
Well, I'm
the reason I know that there's no chance you'll win is because you put too much pressure on it. It'll never happen. You overthink it too much. You've overthought it so many times that you can't even go in a unified direction.
Are you a roster tinkerer? You just constantly reset your lineup?
He's paper only. He came in with paper only. Paper only.
I've already got rid of my kicker. Oh my god! I look at
the brakes.
I look at it.
Who'd you pick up?
I'll tell you all about it because that's later on in my list.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry, it was too early for me to try and get into your head because I don't care about any of this. I do and I don't. Like I do it for fun, but I do want to win.
But Jesse, will you agree that the leagues that have no money whatsoever on the line,
the free leagues,
are totally worthless? And if you're involved in that and you think that's fun, you're wrong about fun, and you're wrong about everything in life.
If I want to,
why are you doing this? Why? For what? So you can all be like, I won, and there's no money. No one cares.
If I want to feel really good about myself, I'll just join like a free ESPN league and then absolutely curb stomp everybody because of those very problems. There's no commitment. Nobody sets lineups. Thanks for the championship.
And what does it mean?
And how good does that make you feel? Winning something that no one cares about.
It's a small dopamine hit. Just ding.
Who is the main winner? Who would you say? You and Sam is the main kind of the heavy in your league.
The heavy hitter?
Yeah, is there a
person? That's a question for Jesse.
Is there a person?
Jesse, obviously, he does a whole podcast about this.
Well, besides him.
Do you have you
not accounting myself?
Have you won multiple times?
Not in the Semantics League, but I've been playoff
Is there
bound.
a multiple winner in the Semantics League like there is in our league is called the League of Above Average Gentlemen.
I like that.
And I hate that name, by the way.
I've
never used it.
Who came up with it?
I am mad. Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, it was.
It's been around for 20 years.
Like it was just a throwaway thing at the radio station. That,
no. I know where it came
Captain
from.
Boy
It
Matt.
came from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is a movie. It came out in like 06. There you go. Just do the math.
That's exactly how my home league is. It's named after a obscure movie from when we started the league.
Yeah.
It's still named after that, but we're not going to change it because it's been 10 years.
The Hunt for Football October. Everybody does some dumb thing.
By the way, even if you think it's a throwaway, put some more thought into the name just in case it ends up.
Are you adding this to your list? He's adding this to his list.
Bands do this. It's like Satriani. He's like, let's call it Chicken Foot. It just stuck. Well, it's a stupid name.
It is. I wanted to tell Joe Satriani that the name of his band is stupid. I wanted to tell him.
He even knew it's stupid.
He did know it was stupid. I could see it in his bald-headed eyes. I could see it.
So, what were you talking about? Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Goes to Manubal. Another question from the chat room. Tom and Dan, does Tom have a fun fantasy team name, or is it something dumb and super serious? That's the stupidest question anyone has ever asked us on this show. Of course, it's just team and his name.
And the league should be called Fantasy Football League. League. LLC.
GetToWork.com.
Jesus Christ.
So, Jesse, this next thing that I have an idea to make your league more fun is something.
God, he's doing it. He's got a list.
You thought it was a joke.
You wanted the best. You got it.
Well, did you see him over there writing? He's like writing it all down.
I'll shoot him down.
Ever since Sam told me you were coming in, I've been thinking about this list for a week.
Oh, that's why you missed your appointment.
Hey, Tom, why'd you miss your appointment? It's Dr. Charlotte.
By the
Such
way,
a nice man, by the way.
That telemedicine, go get weed. What the hell are you waiting for? I'm mad at anybody.
That'll be our next commercial. Go and get weed. What the hell are you waiting for?
I was going to say that's a good one. Yeah, that's the new ad.
I popped on. It's Shed Latte. It's a telemedicine. Good. You want it? Good. Anyway, all right. So next thing, and this next piece of advice we don't even follow, and I've been trying to implement in our league, and no one wants to do it except for me, and so I've been backing off. Because
Is this where we all put our weenies together in a circle, and like he keeps wanting to do this initiation thing? He's like, all the teams are doing it,
and it's a penalty for the person with the least amount of points at the end of the season.
Oh, least amount of points. Okay, that's interesting.
And so not just the worst.
Oh, I
record.
agreed to this last year, dude.
But I know, but only me and you, because I think as our radio background, I think
because we like the
Cowboy Matt,
he don't want that.
He's been out for too long.
He's a serious real estate mogul with a baby.
And then everybody else are like, I don't want to be doing some
Did you
goofy
see
ass.
They were all. Did you see how our league now? Everybody was dead silent except for the drunk people that were just hitting their sound effects.
So a penalty for the loser also keeps people engaged,
Absolutely.
especially at the end of the season when they
set
know
your lineup.
Set your lineup, exactly.
When they know they're out of the playoffs or whatever, and it gives everybody something entertaining to watch because you're looking at, all right, who's the lowest, who's got the
and
worst
you
record.
get a tattoo on your butt. Or something.
Yeah. Now
I think that's what I agreed to.
That is the punishment.
I believe that I said tattoo on the butt, and everybody's
too
like,
far.
ooh. And I was like, well, that's why this league sucks.
So let's talk about punishments. Have you been involved with any, Jesse?
No, not personally. I am a good fantasy football player.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that. Well done.
But my main home league, we do have a fun punishment. You have to do an interpretive dance for 2 minutes to a song that the previous champions and commissioners get to pick.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long, long time.
That's actually not a bad.
It's a pretty good one.
Is it a live interpretive dance just in front of the league, or are you posting this somewhere on the interwebs?
It's mostly just internally, and like we post it amongst ourselves.
Okay.
But the current loser has gone loser back to back. So we feel like it now has to be public. It has to escalate further. Maybe like put them out in the corner of like Orange and Michigan. You just got to get out there and do your dance out there.
I remember people doing that. Like, I remember, didn't you pay a bet one time where you had to, like, it was a different costume and you had to, like, run down I-4 in the median or something?
Yeah, the Bigfoot outfit.
There's all kinds of ones. Like the loser also has...
My memory's coming back.
He has a license plate holder on his car that says, I suck at fantasy football.
I'd be okay with that.
There's all kinds of ways you can do it without...
That one I'm okay. Like, anything that says I suck at fantasy football is totally okay with me. What's not okay with me is a tattoo on my butt. Which is why I think the punishment should actually be
it's an actual deterrent.
Punishment. Like, it'd be like your parents saying you're being punished. Well, what's the punishment? And then they give you no punishment. Like, the punishment, then don't call it a punishment.
I like. I've
been here for years.
I've seen this one, a nose piercing.
Oh, dude!
Or any
that's
piercing.
Good. Tongue
whatsoever.
piercing is awesome.
That's too far.
No, nose you can see the hole outside. Pierce my tongue so you never see it.
Yeah, but it gets numb, and then it can create.
And then I might want to keep it because I'm a pervert.
Guys, Jacob's Ladder. Come on.
Or how about just your ears pierced?
One dangler.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good.
Oh no, like a feather.
But I want that anyway.
Let's say it's technically in now.
I think it's
maybe not
cool.
for your age group.
Yeah, but it'd be funny. Like, you don't think it'd be? I think it'd be hilarious if I had a Mr. T feather hanging out of my earphones.
The girl in our league has an advantage because that's not going to bother her as much. I feel, because
well, we give her another one. Maybe she can pierce her labia. It's a medical term. Medical term. Medical term. Is it labia or labia?
And this next idea I got from Bill Simmons, and I'm sure, Jesse, you're aware of this.
Yeah.
And it's
all of his best idea come from old men.
From Bill Simmons.
Old guys.
And it's an infamous, stories that, like, John Hamm, I guess he's in Bill Simmons' fantasy football league, and this is what they do. So
he's dating Flo.
That's awesome.
I
want to date Flo.
So Cousin Sal's and there's all these guys.
Wow.
That are, so the
star-studded.
The winner of last year or the previous year gets to vote a random person out of the league on draft day of the next year. So John Hamm tells this story on some, I think it's maybe, I don't know if it's Jimmy Kimmel or some late night show, that everybody gets prepared, goes to the bar, they do their draft, and then the previous year's winner stands up and announces someone is kicked out of the league. Then they have to get up and go home. So everybody prepares to play.
That's too far.
And,
I
like it because
I'd rather take a tattoo with a butt.
I like
get
that
kicked out of
one.
my fantasy
I
league.
really do like that one too. That's harsh.
That's so harsh.
The harsher the better. Look at that. Yeah. Because then it's not even a punishment for the loser. And then John Hamm tells a story he wasn't even the worst last year or anything. They just voted him out.
Because they knew it would be fun to vote him out. Because can he get back in, or is he done for good?
You can only get back in the next year if they let him back in. If someone else gets voted out, they can let him back in. I don't know how that's decided or whatever, but I like the more extreme the better. That's all I'm saying. Because anytime you have more money involved or more extreme bets of any sort involved, it just makes everybody more engaged.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes the game more fun.
Okay, I'm reading the chat room, and Samantha doesn't think you're letting Jesse chat enough. So you can tell him that. You can sitting right here.
I can't. He won't shut the hell up.
You can tell him.
I'm waiting for him to finish his list of things that he heard or read about other places, except for the guests that we actually have.
What else has Bill Simmons told you?
Just relay what Bill Simmons has said to you to me.
I just like to tell you how to do it. Anyway, so Jesse, let's talk about fantasy football. Where do we want to start? Because I could ask you a million questions about value and players and stuff. I'm kind of making it broad only because
Here's my question: Who would you suggest for position to choose first? Because this is a hot topic amongst people. Because some people go quarterback first, running back first.
We talked about this.
Some people get 4 running backs first.
Oh, I got booed. I got booed. I mean, I took a running back and I took a rookie running back. And I had
Bijan Robinson.
I took Bijan third.
Yep, of course.
Yeah, I took Bijan third.
Third?
Yeah, I had third pick.
That's fine.
And I'm virtually certain that everybody there was being very nice to me. Yeah. Around, they were like, oh, okay, we see what you're doing. But they were all in their mind, Tom included, were like, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
That's
totally fine because everybody, I would like to remind everybody in our league that I won last year.
Oh.
And that's the greatest victory I can have over any of them is that there's no way that anybody could actively say that they're better than me because they're not.
You're not.
I'm the winner. I'm the best at fantasy football in our league. See how it rattles it? Look, it's just rattling. It's just rattling.
Technically, what you're saying is correct.
Yeah, it's correct.
But I hate you. You're wrong.
The proof is, it's like Jimmy.
Wrong.
It's like when I used to beat Jimmy at poker at his cash games. It would drive him crazy, and he'd be like, "You're not playing it right." I'm like, "Well, the guy with the money seems to be playing it correctly."
So, Sam, to answer your question,
yes,
I think this year more than any, wide receiver is what you should prioritize first.
Why?
It's a technique in drafts, and I would never argue that you should stick to any particular strategy while you're drafting, but it's called zero RB, so where you prioritize wide receivers well over running backs. That's been a thing for quite a while, but now I think finally the NFL, in terms of how owners and GMs manage players' contracts, they care about wide receivers. They don't care about running backs anymore.
There's also
They're actively talking about it.
They're actively talking about it, and I think that's finally.
And running backs love to hear it too. By the way, they love it.
For the video game players, it's called the meta. It's like the sub game within the fantasy football game. Wide receiver is the most important position in fantasy football now.
And also, to that point, read a lot about this, the zero running back strategy. Another thing is injury, because the position of running back is percentage-wise
insanely injury prone.
20% more likely that a running back will get injured than a wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Just because of the position. So then you waste your draft capital on running backs early, and you could have been getting a premium wide receiver instead of this running back who, if he gets injured and season-ending injury, then your whole league is done because all the value was in your running backs, which has been a change because it used to be running backs.
It used to be running backs.
100%.
It was always running backs. And
that's why a lot of times you can see an older person drafting when you see him leaning hard on the running backs.